Alaska vacations make me happy.
Alaska vacations make our customers happy.
Gary's right. Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important.
It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling?
AlaskanAC.com.
Schedule now.
KCUV Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the sports deck. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Shot clock off. Aggies won't foul. The Sweet 16 will include the Arizona Wildcats on Thursday when they meet the Arkansas Razorbacks in San Jose, California. Braden Burry straddling the ball, looking at his family. Clock running out. Here comes the horn. It is over. The Cats on to the Sweet 16 on Thursday. Arizona 78, Utah State 66. A rugged, tough basketball game here in San Diego.
That's how they are in the month of March. Rugged, tough. Can you get that W? Can you do the things necessary to survive and advance? Well, that's what your Arizona Wildcats did this weekend. Pretty easy game one against Long Island. A little bit more difficult game two in the contest that featured one of the few mid-majors that was remaining in the tournament. And at that point, the lone mid-major left the Utah State Aggies, who once again are looking for a new head coach. You know you're doing something right in that at that level generally when you have to turn over your head coach every 2 or 3 years. That means you're hiring the right people. They're coming in. They're continuing the success that other coaches before them laid the groundwork for. And now they're going to move on to the next opportunity. Jared Calhoun will, as we speculated last night and discussed, will head back to play for the University of Cincinnati. Now, we talked over the weekend. He's a Cleveland guy. Villa Angela St. Joseph High School. He may have even, it was combined. Villa, it used to be St. Joseph's was the boys' school. Villa Angela was the girls' school. As you have found in many towns across the country, you'll have a Catholic boys' school, Catholic girls' school. They'll merge and become one high school at some point. That's the situation with that particular high school. So he was there after the merger. Unlike Clark Kellogg, who went to St. Joseph High School when it was just a boys' school back in the day. Some pretty big basketball names have come out of St. Joseph's or Villa Angela St. Joseph's High School in Cleveland, Ohio, throughout the years. Started his college career at Cleveland State. I remember him being on those teams. I did some coverage of Cleveland State back in the early part of this century, and I remember Jared Calhoun didn't play a lot, but was on those teams. And then finished his career at the University of Cincinnati. And that is where he is going to be the new head coach. So we are going to be seeing a lot of Jared Calhoun in the years to come, as he will now take over that Bearcat program, that very proud Bearcat program that has had some legendary head coaches. When you talk about Bob Huggins, who was there for years. When you talk about Mick Cronin, who replaced Huggy Bear and kept the train rolling. And unfortunately now, Wade Miller could not do that, could not bring it back to the level that they expect of Cincinnati basketball down in Southern Ohio. But how good is Wade Miller? He wasn't out of work very long either. Wade Miller was out of work exactly 1 week. He is going to be the new head coach at UNC Charlotte, going back to North Carolina, where he was a coach. I believe he was at UNC Greensboro before he took the job at Cincinnati. It's a revolving door of coaches. Arizona State has their new head coach. Randy Bennett is coming down from St. Mary's, so they went the veteran route versus young up-and-comer. Very interesting. Very interesting. We'll dive into all that. We have plenty of time this week to dive into all of what is happening on the coaching side of things. Speaking of coaches, your former head coach is going to be in San Jose this week. Sean Miller. We joked about that last week. We joked about what the potential matchups could be because, although Tommy Lloyd is only focused on this week's tournament, which was Long Island first and Villanova potentially Utah State second, we have the luxury of fantasizing about what the future matchups could be for the Arizona Wildcats. And we fantasized about Arizona Gonzaga. We fantasized about Arizona Wisconsin. We fantasized about, I don't know if we fantasized about Arizona Wisconsin. That's not a very good fantasy.
That might be a nightmare, depending on who you ask in Tucson.
That's not a very good fantasy if you're an Arizona Wildcats fan. I fantasized about Arizona Arkansas because I've said, if you've been following me from the 18 years I've been here, I've consistently said one of my favorite coaches in the game is John Calipari. Covered him at the University of Memphis when I was living in Memphis prior to moving here in Tucson. I was doing minor league baseball down there, but I would moonlight during the off season for the Associated Press, AP Radio back in the day. This was back when national networks actually hired stringers to cover things. I don't even know if they do that anymore, because, heck, CBS News Radio is going out of business, I heard, over the weekend while I was in San Diego. I grew up. This is CBS News Radio. I grew up with that. Now they're going out of business, from what my understanding is. But yeah, did some stringing work in the offseason, the baseball offseason when I lived in Memphis, covering both the Memphis Grizzlies and the Memphis Tigers for a number of different radio outlets, AP mostly. I forget the other one that was around back then that I would do some stringing for. You make some places you make $25. Sometimes you make $50. For me, it was just about being able to get that credential to go and sit and watch a nice, good basketball game, whether that was the NBA or college basketball, and getting to go and talk to some guys after the games were over. And this was back when John Calipari was still one of the few coaches he was still one of the few coaches that allowed open locker room after the game. You could just walk right in and talk to the Memphis Tigers after the game. Cal would do his thing in the hallway, and then you'd go in and talk to the players. That was my first. That was prior to me coming here. So that was my first really dive into covering college sports since I'd been in college. And then I come here and everything's kind of buttoned up. It was 2008, 9. Everything's buttoned up. I was like, oh, you can't go in the locker room? You can't just go in the locker room? Practice is not open? What, you can't go watch practice? You can't go in the locker room after the game here? I was like, wow, Cal didn't operate like that. And Memphis is not as big a school as Arizona, but Cal would let us come to practice. Cal would let us go in the locker room after the game. So I was a little surprised. I was surprised when I got here. And again, that was the transition year, and maybe that was part of it. That was kind of the beginning, I think, of a lot of coaches buttoning things up right around 2008, 9. And that was the year Lute stepped down right as the beginning of the season was happening, my first year here. I was like, I got here, man, I'm going to get to cover Lute Olson, and he retired. And we had Russ Pennell. But, yeah, the practice has never been open. Now, again, some practice. It's not like Sean would let us come and see maybe one practice or two a year. Tommy has let us come in in the fall, not during the season. You can't go during the season. Cal, you could go during the season. Of course, this was, again, a different era, 2005, 6, 7. Now we're 26. And I don't know. I'd be interested. We'll have somebody on this week from Arkansas. And we'll find out if Cal's practice, if you can still go watch practice, if Cal's practices are open or if they're closed. I have no idea. If his locker room I would imagine maybe his locker room is not open, but who knows? Maybe he still operates in that realm. But it was cool. It was cool to cover his teams in Memphis. I've talked a number of times in the past couple of weeks how, that was a huge disappointment for them not getting that national championship in 2008 because they could not make their free throws. What did I just say? Because they could not make their free throws. And I said last night, if Arizona does not advance past this weekend, if Arizona does not end that drought of now 25 years of getting to the Final Four, it will be because they don't make their free throws. 12 missed free throws last night. That has got to be corrected quickly. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Dragon Ball is in the hot seat with me today. We gave J-Dub the day off. He worked the entire day. Well, Dragon Ball, you had a long day.
JW had the big day because he had to handle the pregame show. He had to do the basketball game, and then he did the postgame. So he had the big day. I was taking care of softball, and then I took care of country radio over on the other station, one of our sister stations. But no, it was a fun night watching all those games. Not being on the board during it felt a little bit odd. I'll admit that, but in the end, it was good to see the Cats get the victory because there were a couple points in that second half where I was starting to get a little nervous, and I was like, should I just start watching the other game? Because maybe it's me. Maybe it's bad luck when I'm watching it. That's when the Cats were going on bad runs. I was like, maybe it's me. I need to stop watching, and maybe that's when they'll go on a good run. And when I was watching the other game, I would see the scoreboard for the U of A and Utah State game, and I would see that, oh, now the Cats are up by 8. Okay, they were only up by 5 when I was watching. Okay, now they're up by 10. Now they're up by so. Okay, it's me. So I just stopped watching it after a while until it was the only game left on. So if maybe a little bit of superstition, maybe not superstition, but a little stition out of my part last night watching the games.
All right. So any thoughts on what you saw there in terms of the Wildcats this week?
It was good to see that, once again, it was just another solid performance by a lot of the guys. You really kind of were hoping to see more out of Anthony Del Orso and Dwayne Aristode coming off the bench, considering how well the both of them seemed to play in the first game against LIU. But this is where the competition starts to ramp up. So not necessarily that jarring. That being said, the shooting percentage was not great, I would say, for the Cats, going about 40% from the field overall. Not what we're used to seeing. I think that was just the fact that Utah State was really kind of they wanted to challenge U of A's ability to score in the paint and settled for jump shots. And luckily, Jaden Bradley and Braden Burries, they answered the bell on that. They had themselves a very good duo game between the two of them. So it was a good matchup. Would like to see more production from the bench here in the next couple of games. But all you got to do is survive in advance, and that's what they did on Sunday night there in San Diego.
Dwayne came out, and he was our spotlight on a Cat for the pregame show yesterday, and one of the things he talked about was the fact that he felt like there were some shots that he passed up in the game against Long Island in the 15 minutes that he got, and he wanted to be more aggressive in that game yesterday. And what did he do? He first time he touched the ball, he has a wide-open 3 look. He didn't hesitate, and he knocked it down. He put it up, and he knocked it down. And I was like, see, there you go. That's a young man that talked about post-game, or pregame, what he wanted to do, and he went out and did it. right away. Now, he didn't really get another opportunity. I don't think he took another shot after that. I think that might have been the
only 3 minutes of play
yeah,
for Dwayne.
I mean, he never got back in again, so I don't know if I'll have to go back and watch the tape. I don't know if there was some other stuff that went on that maybe he just didn't get another opportunity after that, but in that one shot he took, he was aggressive like he said he wanted to be aggressive. So that was definitely good to see from Dwayne Aristode yesterday. Hopefully he continues to find that aggression. He was disappointed that he had missed his 3 free throws in that game. And again, it's something we've kind of sugarcoated over because there's going to be a lot of games where it doesn't matter. And games against Long Island, like those teams like that, missing 10-plus free throws is not going to matter. But you get into games like you were in yesterday, and it starts to come back into the realm. Okay, that's how you can quickly lose an 18-point lead is turning the ball over 6 times in a row like they did, and that was very alarming. And that there's I think several of the things that have been concerns all season popped up in that game. Press break, which we've talked about all year, being an issue. Full court press. That challenge has been an issue all year. That popped up yesterday. Free throw shooting, that popped up yesterday. So those are 2 things. When we talk about what are some things that could potentially take down Arizona of their own doing. I mean, the other team, making 19 threes like Alabama, you run into a buzzsaw like that, you're probably going to lose on most nights, no matter how well you play. But I think the 2 biggest concerns that we've had all season about this team cropped up were a part of them losing that big advantage that they had in that game on Sunday. So, again, back to the drawing board and shoring things up. They flew back last night, short week, so I would imagine that they probably practiced today, if not maybe lightly, but get the guys out there, get the legs loose, and ramp up tomorrow and obviously Wednesday for what you've got to face in Thursday in Arkansas. John Calipari, Darius Acuff Jr., and company. All right, DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290. Want to hear your thoughts. We've got a packed show in the first hour. Both our interviews are in the first hour. We're going to talk some Cologuard Classic golf coming up. Todd Kelly is going to join us next. Cricket's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Busy travel slowdowns westbound Grant Road at I-10, westbound on Speedway, approaching and passing Main Avenue, eastbound Speedway at Stone Avenue for slowing. Busy southbound Nogales Highway at Los Reales, also on westbound Ina at Shannon. 61 the low, 95 sunny skies tomorrow, 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provides real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
Big Jake here from Old Tucson. Enjoy Hollywood-style stunt shows, saloon shows, magic, shootouts, rides, games, fine food and drinks, and more. For more family fun than you can shake a stick at, head on out to Old Tucson, oldtucson.com.
Psst. Hey, Gary, check it out.
What's he doing?
Don't bother me.
Is he...
I think he is. William?
Don't bother me.
Are you daydreaming?
I was. Now I'm talking to you.
You look like you were a million miles away.
I've been reading this book.
How to Be Happy While Still Being Grumpy?
By Frederick J. Fuzzypants?
I've learned I'm happiest when I know our customers get an early Alaskification.
It's one of the best ways to catch trouble before it happens.
And I've learned I'm happiest when we promise no breakdowns for a year.
What else? What else makes you happy?
That's it. Alaskifications make me happy.
Alaskifications make our customers happy.
Gary's right. Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important.
It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling?
AlaskanAC.com.
Schedule now.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We now join our damsel in distress tied to the railroad tracks, a victim of high tobacco prices.
Help! Somebody save me!
Never fear, my dear. Captain Tobacco is here.
Captain, high prices are coming down the track.
You'll never stop my high prices. Pardon me while I untie this fair lady.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
There, you're free.
My hero.
Drats.
You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
Now for you, high prices, I dare ya.
Hooray!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Captain, I could just kiss you.
Oh, no.
Oh, brother. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Here it comes.
Surprise! There's an avocado shortage! Now half your food truck menu is costing more than it's making you! Also, you're out of napkins!
Those aren't cheap! Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise? Saving 13% on commercial auto insurance when you pay in full.
Also, an ice cream truck stole your parking spot! Looks like you're in a turf war!
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Ahoy, matey! Is that a new phone? Aye, Captain. That's me new Samsung Galaxy S25 FE. You must have paid a pretty doubloon for that. Nay, 'twas zero down from Cricket Wireless. So, you plundered it. Nay, again, 'tis a monthly payment plan with bread pay. You're shivering me timbers. I shiver you not. Me first payment is next month. Aye, that's not a plunder. That's a steal.
Get a new Samsung Galaxy S25 FE for $0 down when you pay over time with bread pay. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Subject to approval of credit application. Bread pay loans are made by Comenity Capital Bank and Bread Financial Company.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto, professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
So, what is it that scares you the most?
The blue trucks from Essential Pest Control, Doctor. They leave bugs belly up.
I use one of those national companies.
Thanks, Doc. Those guys don't scare me.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Buy local and stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. That's 866-3029. Or visit essentialpest.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And the Conquistadors helmet goes to
Alker for birdie and the win. And he's done it, Steven Alker.
What a player.
Trailed by 9 after round 1, beats the Hall of Famer Padraig Carrington for the second year in a row. Alker birdies 18 on the first playoff hole.
Steven Alker is your 2026 Cologuard Classic champion. First time in the history of the Champions Tour event here in its second reincarnation. The Tucson Conquistadors Classic prior to Cologuard and Exact Sciences coming in, that we've had a repeat champion. Let's chat with Todd Kelly. He is from Golf Week. Cousin Todd. Not really, but we like to refer to anyone named Kelly as a cousin of ours. He was there on Sunday to watch the final round. He is with Golf Week based out of Phoenix. Todd, appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. It was interesting. I think you wrote this week that this is a pretty popular tournament with the guys on this particular tour. Why is Tucson a place that these guys like to come?
Well, you've got usually great weather. Yes, it was hot this week, but still not bad. You've got a really interesting, challenging golf course. You've got there was the way it falls in the schedule. For a lot of guys, this was only the second time they played, Alker included. He played the season opener in January and then was off until now. So I think a lot of guys kind of look at this event as sort of like maybe the unofficial kickstart to their season. And if guys know other good guys are going to be there, they're also going to want to be there. It gets that competitive juices flowing.
When you look at this course, and you've been down here a number of years for this tournament, in fact, how many years have you covered the event down here?
Oh, I want to say 5 to 6. I should know exactly, but I don't. I did miss last year, but I've been down. This was the third year at La Paloma, so I've been there 2 times now, and quite different from where they used to play. I think this course is a different, more interesting setup for them, and I think it'll be that way for a while. So.
Okay, so as somebody that saw obviously this tournament at Omni and has seen it now in La Paloma, if from what you've seen from a player standpoint, what makes it different?
Well, the desert golf, it's more target golf. Tucson National, in fact, people that remember going to that event, guys would intentionally hit down a different fairway to get a better angle to a green. You're not going to do that at La Paloma, the way they've got that course set up. Do you remember that?
No, that was before I got here.
I believe it was. Okay, I believe it was 17, but guys, Mickelson in particular, when he played the one year, was hit down 15, I believe, on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Just with that Parkland style course, there's nothing against the rules. You can totally do that if you want, but it was giving guys different attack angles. That's not the case at La Paloma. The desert golf, the target golf, a lot of some elevated tee boxes, some obscured fairways. It makes it just a different challenge. You got to find fairways at La Paloma.
Todd Kelly is our guest from Golf Week, the Cologuard Classic wrapping up here this past yesterday, actually, with Steve Alker winning. And I want to ask you this because it's interesting, the dynamics of golf and how the prize money works. This tournament, as you wrote in your article, $2.2 million purse. The winner gets $330,000 on the Champions Tour. How does that equate? Is that are we near the top in terms of the individual lists in terms of what golfers can win on this tour, or where does that rank on the schedule?
It's in the top third. The senior tour has 5 majors, and those all are going to have much larger purses. And then of the quote unquote, regular events, the Cologuard would be probably in the top 10 of those. Not the top, but definitely better money than most of them. And so, maybe I should have included that in your first question as to why guys want to be there. They know there's a decent size thing of prize money sitting there waiting for them.
So can one like $330,000 for a guy on the Champions Tour winning event? Does that basically cover the whole entire year? Can you cover the entire year, your entire year of expenses, winning one event, or is that like even more than that?
Well, I mean, it depends on where you stay and how you spend your money, I suppose. The tournaments on the tour are generally 3 rounds, but usually golfers are on site for 5 days. There's a couple of pro-ams typically. So you're looking at 5 nights plus transportation. Now, Stephen Alker, he's a New Zealander, but he's lived in Scottsdale for 20-something years, so he just probably took a 2-hour drive home. So he, didn't have to buy a plane ticket to get here. Is it going to cover your entire year of expenses? Probably not, but that's a pretty good number to build off of.
What's an average golfer? What are expenses for an average golfer for on this tour for a year? Do you think? Or do you know?
I don't know that I could answer that. I don't know that specifically. Again, a lot of it comes down to how they want to live. You want to stay in the 5-star resort, or you're going to rent a house, or you're going to drive home to your, the events in Florida if you live there. So, yeah, it's kind of a case-by-case basis. But
Zach Johnson was there this weekend. Obviously, he's maybe the hot new name on tour this year. As this tour begins to, obviously you've got guys now that have had a chance to play on the PGA Tour as the years have gone on that have started to make generational wealth. Do you think that that's going to hurt this tour long term that now you've got guys that played throughout the 90s and the 2000s, that made and set themselves up for life? Or do guys that mostly play on this tour, do they play because they still love the challenge of competing?
Yes, to the second thing. I think ultimately these guys are all competitors and they want to compete. And yesterday, as I made my way down to 18 green for the celebration, I walked by Bernhard Langer, and he was packing his own golf bag. And this guy's, 67 now, 68, and he's still out there winning. This guy's won the most money ever on the Champions Tour, like $35 million. Like, what's he doing? Well, it's because he loves to compete, and I think that's the case for everyone on there. Now, you raise an outstanding point. The money that's on the PGA Tour now is tenfold or whatever compared to 20 years ago. So we've got a 29-year-old Scotty Scheffler who is about to surpass $100 million in earnings. At age 29. Other guys are winning $4 million, $4.5 million. The Players' Championship 2 weeks ago, the winner got $4.5 million. That's twice what the entire purse was for the Cologuard. So will we see guys in the future, at 44, deciding, I don't really need the Champions Tour. I've made so much money, I don't need it. Yeah, we might see that, but I still think, regardless of career earnings, I think you're just going to see most of these guys, if healthy. All their friends are going to be on that tour as well. That's one thing Zach Johnson talked about last week. Was he's reconnecting with guys that are just a couple years older that have moved on to this tour. So there's a camaraderie there as well. You see it in other sports. These guys that make tons of money, they're going to play till they're told they can't anymore, and that's just because pro athletes are competitors.
Todd Kelly is our guest. Golf Week covered the Cologuard Classic this past weekend. Steve Alker winning it for a second consecutive year. You mentioned, obviously, Scotty Scheffler, best in the game right now. Another guy who was the best in the game during his time turned 50 this year. It's what we do here in Tucson. We always say, who's turning 50 this year? And a guy by the name of Tiger Woods turned 50. Todd Kelly, do you think we'll ever see Tiger Woods play on this tour?
My coworkers and I, our reporters, editors, I feel like this is almost something we talk about weekly. Are we going to see Tiger play anywhere ever again? And then it is, well, what if he played on the Champions Tour? So to clarify what you said, he turned 50 right at the end of last year. So he could play right now if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
He just isn't healthy enough. And that's why tonight, if you watch ESPN tonight, the TGL finals, his team is in the finals. He'll be there, but he's not competing. He just isn't quite healthy enough to play yet. Will we see him? My gut says we will, probably on a limited basis. I'm not the only one who thinks this, but if Tiger Woods were to win the U.S. Senior Open, which is conducted by the USGA, he would break the record for most USGA titles of all time. He's got 3 junior amateurs. He's got 3 regular amateurs. He's got some U.S. Opens. So if he were to win a U.S. Senior Open, he would complete the inventory of USGA trophies and be the winningest golfer. And if there's anything Tiger likes, it's to put things out of reach of any. he likes achievements and accomplishments, and that would put him in a group of one. So I think he will. I do feel like he will play the Senior Tour, and with that being the focus. But it would probably be a limited schedule. I don't know if we'll see him on the PGA Tour. I just don't. I think my gut says he'll play at the Masters in 2 weeks, but I have nothing. I don't talk to him. I don't know for sure. This is just me speculating. But yeah, if and when we see him, there will be few and far between. But I just feel like where he's not quite done yet.
You mentioned TGL, and I don't know a whole lot about it, but I know that when I do my show on here from 3 to 6, it happens to be on television on certain nights. What have you made of that? And is that popular? Are people watching TGL? Are people excited about what they're seeing there? It's very interesting, for sure. Have you been to one of those events? So what can you tell us about how that's going?
I've not been there, but we've got some reporters in our company, the USA Today company. We own some Florida newspapers and websites that have been there. I've talked to them. Getting in is actually kind of tough. There's a kind of an exclusive number of tickets, and they're kind of expensive. And but it's really a made-for-TV thing first and foremost. So I think what it does is it puts live golf on prime time on a Monday night, which a lot of times is a slow sports night. And golf fans can kind of scratch their itch watching a little. I don't know if people are excited. I'm not sure if that's the word, but people are watching it. The ratings are down a little bit from last year. The ratings were pretty decent last year. I think they're across the board down this year. I mean, there was some novelty to it last year, and people were trying to figure out what this whole thing was all about. But it's strong enough to keep going. I don't see any reason why it's not going to continue. The finals are tonight and tomorrow, and then they'll be back, next January. There's actually a women's version of it coming out soon. I think in 2 years, they're launching a women's TGL. So the people behind it must feel strongly enough about it to launch a second branch of it.
Todd, we hosted a live golf tournament here several years ago, and several of the golfers have left that tour this past year. What's the future of live golf?
Boy, that's the $1 million question. You're talking about a tour that's funded by the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, the PIF, and they have a large, some say bottomless pit of money, and they're sort of not like anything else. Most sports leagues, golf league, sports teams, they need to be able to stand on their own 2 feet and generate their own money. And LIV is financed by this public investment fund that it doesn't matter how great the TV view ratings are. It doesn't seem to matter how great the ticket sales are. They're financially backing this thing with the sole focus of making it work eventually. It's unique.
Don't we wish all sports operated like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, the Yankees probably act like that too, I guess, if we're talking about teams that just people, entities that just spend money left and right. But at the end of the day, there are, every other sports league, you have to account for the expense sheet and the profit margins and all that other stuff. But who knows? I mean, Brooks Koepka came back. Frankly, a lot of the live golfers are in that 40 to 45 to almost 50 range, where they're sort of not the big star they used to be on the PGA Tour. I'm not sure the PGA Tour is missing some of them, but they would love to get John Rahm back. They would love to get Bryson DeChambeau back. They would love to get a couple of other names. Cameron Smith is a world-class talent on LIV. After about 5 or 6 names, though, and that's why I think we're not seeing too much movement with a merger. The Tours is winning this battle. Their TV ratings are 10 to 12 times whatever LIV is doing. People talk about the PGA Tour. They're not really talking about LIV, other than, which is what you said, what's going on with this thing. So.
Todd Kelly, Cousin Todd, he's with Golf Week. Todd, appreciate you taking some time to join us today.
Well, I saw your last name, and I said, how can I say no to that guy? So I had to come on your show.
There you go. Well, we'll have you on again. Talk some more golf here down the line. Todd,
all right, you got it.
Todd, have a great summer.
Thank you, sir.
All right, cricket is again. We're going to talk to another Todd straight ahead. This Todd is has already brought a national championship back to Tucson. Todd Holdhouse, the head coach of Pima women's basketball, joins us next. DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Slowdowns on southbound Nogales Highway at Los Reales, Ajo and Mission busy. Southbound and westbound slowing and more backups on southbound La Cholla at Ajo. Roadwork at Keno and Ajo, Irvington and Palo Verde, and Country Club Road closed under I-10. And weather-wise, we're going to see clear skies, 61 overnight, 95 sunny tomorrow, and 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provides real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. EssentialPest.com.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. We've been proud corporate sponsors of Arizona Athletics for nearly 6 decades, and we've seen a lot of the Wildcat Championship drives. We're also proud to be the locals' choice for tires and automotive repair. Our 14 award-winning locations have helped thousands of Arizonans get to and from work, home, school, and every other desert destination since 1960. At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we know the difference in your next winning drive might come down to a split-second decision behind the wheel, a single defensive stop, or an amazing fast break down the lane. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is here to give you and your vehicle the assist you need with the most affordable tires and guaranteed quality automotive repairs, backed by our Arizona-approved protection, to make sure you have a winning drive every day. Find out more at jackfurriers.com, or you can call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by today. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Why does Progressive love protecting truckers? Because truckers unite the world. Truckers unite candles and yoga instructors. Truckers unite fake plants with people who shouldn't own living plants. Truckers unite French press coffee makers with the most pretentious person you know. But truckers can't do any of this if they're not on the road. That's why Progressive now offers truckers even more protection on cargo with its enhanced Cargo Plus coverage. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. Not available in California.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Tell Good RX Rodin, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Hot-foot it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Psst. Hey, Gary, check it out.
What's he doing?
Don't bother me.
Is he...
I think he is. William?
Don't bother me.
Are you daydreaming?
I was. Now I'm talking to you.
You look like you were a million miles away.
I've been reading this book.
How to Be Happy While Still Being Grumpy?
By Frederick J. Fuzzypants?
I've learned I'm happiest when I know our customers get an early Alaska vacation.
It's one of the best ways to catch trouble before it happens.
And I've learned I'm happiest when we promise no breakdowns for a year.
What else? What else makes you happy?
That's it. Alaska vacations make me happy.
Alaska vacations make our customers happy.
Gary's right. Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important.
It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling?
AlaskanAC.com.
Schedule now.
Inside with Chris Van Vliet.
Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet.
Behind the scenes conversations with the biggest names in pro wrestling and beyond.
How did you know you weren't going to kill Hornswoggle with that move? I didn't. That fall with suicide. I don't know how you survived.
Yeah, luck. And special live coverage of the biggest professional wrestling event of the year.
If you've ever wanted to know where the best place to watch WrestleMania is, right here. I've got a live show there, Insight Live, on the Thursday night.
Pro wrestling at its best.
Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform. See you there.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old.
She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
St. John's beat Kansas 67-65 to advance to the Sweet 16 in the East region. Kansas has a lot of questions to answer this offseason. Will Bill Self return? How will the tournament loss affect Darren Peterson's draft stock? Next up for St. John's, Duke, the number 1 seed, who beat TCU 81-58. The Red Storm and the Blue Devils face off on Friday. I'm Chris Black.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, we have always said Tucson is a basketball town. The great Bob Elliott coined the phrase. And for a number of years, we have had 4 dynamic basketball programs here in Tucson between the University of Arizona and Pima College. And one of those programs can now call themselves national champions. Pima women won it all over the weekend down in Hickory, North Carolina, beating number 6 seed Kirkwood, a school that had gotten double-digit trophies in their case. The Wildcats now have their first after a 64-58 victory Saturday in the Division II NJCAA National Championship game, and we're pleased to be joined by their head coach right now, Todd Holdhouse. Todd, so glad you could be with us. So happy for you. Congratulations on this tremendous feat. I'm sure you finally have had a moment to exhale after this season.
Yeah, it's been an awesome, exhausting, highs and lows week. And today was kind of the first day where I could kind of settle in and just let things kind of settle around me and see how I feel. And I haven't stopped smiling, if I'm going to be honest.
We had you on maybe right about a month ago, a little over a month ago, and then one of the things we talked about was obviously the health scare you had last summer with your heart. Mm-hmm. How did your heart hold up through all of this, the postseason and whatnot? And are you in a situation where I got to check with my doctor, I got to make sure I'm communicating on and doing the right things I'm supposed to be doing so that nothing bad happens? Or what was the process there?
No, I think I was given a clean bill of health in October, and so I haven't really had to do other than just be smart about how I do things. I don't have any meds I have to take or anything like that. So from like a health standpoint, I'm good. And it probably helped to have my keep my blood pressure down and my heart rate down when you have 2 great players like Milicia and Kylie. So I got to be honest, I never really had any moments during the tournament where I felt like, it was getting out of hand or we were on the verge. I just always had a belief that those 2 would lead the way. And, we were down by 12 in the championship game. And I didn't really feel like it's like a need to panic because one of our strengths all year has been, the 3rd and 4th quarter, we kind of wear people out. We're a physical team and we're in great shape. And by the time the end of the game rolls around, we have a tendency to that's where we kind of make our runs. And that held true almost every game we played in. And so even when we were down 12, we just make enough plays, and Mish especially just kind of willed us to victory in those moments where it could teeter, to you're going to lose or you're going to get yourself back in it. And so I was just blessed in so many ways in the last year. It's just crazy how it all came to this point. Like you said, looking back, it's been a crazy year personally. And then, you have Coach Ross is stepping away a little bit, and for him to get a ring was, that's going to be awesome. So you couldn't write a better story, I don't think.
You mentioned Kylie Sowers-Miller, fabulous player that you've had here now for 2 years. And one of the things she talked about was she felt like she had unfinished business here, even though that there were Division I offers waiting, and she could have gone to a number of different places after playing here for just 1 year. How surprising was that for you, that she felt like she had something that she wanted to do here first before she went on to whatever was next?
I wasn't that surprised. I think a lot of people outside of it were surprised because, I see Kylie every day, and we've developed a great relationship. And so her and I were always kind of on the same page, and she's a wonderful young lady, and she's a loyalist. That's one of her strengths. And she kind of felt like, Pima kind of brought basketball back into a good spot in her life, and she started falling in love with basketball again and kind of wanted to finish the journey. And then obviously finishing second last year, everybody was hurt because you get so close and you come up just short. So, and for her, it just kind of lit a fire hey, look, we're good enough to do this thing. And I want to finish, playing with Coach Todd. And so I'm going to come back. And so I was I was never worried that she was going to leave. I would have never been upset at her if she had taken an offer, because you work so hard to get something like that. It wouldn't have shocked me if she said, hey, Coach, I'm going to go play, so-and-so because I can't pass it up. I'd have been like, that's you've earned that, so go do it. But, looking back, she came back and she finished it, or we finished it. So it was all worth it. And in the end, she was right.
Todd Holdhouse is our guest, women's basketball coach, Pima College, national champions for the first time in program history. I want to go back to something you said right there, how you felt like your program helped her refine her love for basketball. What is it about the way you operate, the environment that you create that does that for young ladies? Because, junior college can be that place where, kids maybe come, they're disappointed they're not at a higher level, but you've created a program there that really makes these young ladies feel like this is a place I want to be because I love this sport, and it's a place that I can find maybe that love again or hone that skill I need to get to that next level.
Well, I think it probably just stems to the fact that it's just hard work. We just take a lot of pride in working hard and having a balance, because it's not basketball 24/7. I think, some of these kids, they've been told or they've been expected to just play basketball all the time, and it becomes a job. And we really try to make it so it's not a job. So you actually enjoy coming to the gym, knowing that you're going to work your tail off for a few hours. But at the end of the day, you don't have to be there all day to be successful. And I think, being a husband and a father, I think, having a balance in that part of my life is something that I've always tried to adhere to. And then when it comes to the young ladies we coach, I think that it's important because they have a lot of demands in their life. They have basketball, they have school, obviously. But outside of those two things, they also have families. And every kid has a different family situation. So I just think that working our tails off in an environment where it's not going to be 24/7, it keeps everybody fresh. And so when you come to the gym every day, it's enjoyable because you're not going to be there all day, but at the same time, you're going to get better. And once you do those things, then after Pima, you're going to have opportunities to keep going and playing. And so it's just kind of trying to maintain that balance. But we also recruit great kids. It's the type of kids that we recruit that help too, because they all know coming in that this is a place that if they work hard, they're going to be able to, achieve their next dream. And so just to keep in a nice balance and just, sticking to what works and not try to deviate from something. And it's not broke, don't fix it.
How many of your family members were able to be there? I saw a number that were there this weekend.
All of them were there, and so that was really cool. Jen and the kids were all there, and Nana Barb was there. And they're always, for the most part, they're always there every year. But as they get older, it's harder because the older kids are all doing their own thing, and so trying to get it coordinated is getting harder and harder. But it was just magical because I could see them in the stands across the way, and when the final buzzer came up, to see them flood down on the floor and come running across is probably an image I'll never forget. So it was magical, to say the least.
Now, was Roz able to go on the trip? I wasn't sure.
Roz was not on the trip. We were in constant communication because he was home watching film and sending notes on the next opponent. And then after we won it all, we FaceTimed him, and we got him in the coach's picture with him on the FaceTime. So while he may not have been there in person, he was there in spirit for sure. And, the girls love him, and so it was important that we touch base with him throughout the week, and they did that, and it was as good as it could be.
I interviewed Kylie after the region championship, and she said that he's that annoying grandfather that you love so much. You placed that net around his neck. I still think that's one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much I can say that I haven't already said in terms of Roz. So, I'm just so happy because it all broke the way it did, and that's why, that's why you just try to do things the right way all the time, and eventually you just hope that the stars align, and maybe the basketball gods were kind of looking down and making sure that, Roz got the proper send-off, because cutting down a couple of nets in 1 year is pretty special.
Yeah, I showed that video to, I was in San Diego with the Wildcats, and I ran into a broadcaster from Northern Iowa who had played at Iowa for Lute and Roz, and he,
awesome.
Before I even brought it up, he said, he brought up Coach Roz, and I said, well, Coach Roz coaches junior college women's basketball now, and I showed him the video, and he loved it as well, remembering the effect that Roz had on him many years ago. Back in Iowa. Todd, I know you lost your father a number of years ago. What would he say to you after this win?
Oh, man. Ooh. I don't know. He was such a humble guy, and he didn't play sports. He was brought up on the farms of Iowa. So I think the thing I always thought about my dad was that he just got to be a dad. Like, he wasn't a dad that knew it all. So after games, I wasn't being told, you got to do this, you got to do that. So my, memories of my dad coming to basketball games were always, he was just a proud dad that sat in the stands. And then afterwards, we got in the car and went home. And so, I haven't even really thought, obviously every game I kind of look up and make sure I say hi to him before it. But I would hope that he was just proud because we just do things the right way. And I try to be the man that he always was, and so just kind of carry myself with high character and do my best. And I think that he'd be pretty proud. I don't think he would gloat too much. He would just probably say, "Good job, I'm happy for you," and sharing the glory, I guess.
What type of celebration are you guys planning? Will there be a special celebration at the school? I know you guys did something when you got back the other day.
Yeah, there was a little something, and then, that's so impromptu, it's hard to do something. But I know I've been messaged a few times that there's a few things in the works, and so once everything's nailed down, I'm sure that we'll get the word out and invite everybody we need to invite. So today I'm just trying to make sure I catch up on a few hours of sleep. You spend all week scouting because you play four games in about 5 days. And then after you win it all, I realize there is no sleeping. And then we traveled all day yesterday. I don't fit on planes very well, but it was all good. I finally got to sleep in my own bed last night, so I got a few hours. And then today I haven't really done much other than try to respond to text, and, I just can't catch up. But it's all good problems to have. I am not complaining, I promise.
So what's the first thing to do for next season, and when will you do that?
Well, the first thing to do I've already touched base with a few recruits that we have to try to sew up in the next week or so. So probably, enjoy the moment, but at the same time, I want to make sure that we're poised to make another run at it next year. And so the priorities would be just lining up a couple recruits and getting those sewn up, and then exhale a little bit and fire it back up. And then last summer I didn't get to really do much of the summer stuff with the kids, and so I'm excited to be back at summer workouts this year, and so they get the full Coach Todd effect, and it'll be rejuvenating for sure. And I told them, I said the bullseye will be even bigger next year. I mean, people are always excited to play Pima, but now they get to play the defending national champions, and I'm sure that the bullseye will be bigger.
There you go. Well, it never stops. That's the life of a head coach. Todd, hey, congratulations again. Fabulous job by you and those young ladies, and proud as always to have a chance to cover your program.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing is I'm just proud of the fact that we get to represent Pima in Tucson, and people in our community. Like, Tucson's a big city, but it's not a big city because people pay attention to Pima athletics and Pima women's basketball. And so we're always proud to go east and have people ask us, where's Pima? And so then we get to brag about where we're from, and then walk out with a national championship trophy is a pretty good feeling.
There you go. Todd Holdhouse, national champion head coach of the Pima Aztec women's basketball team. Todd, we'll see you soon.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, DK, for everything, man.
Absolutely. Todd Holdhouse, always great to see and cover Todd's teams throughout the years. They've been oh so close, and they finally are on top of the mountain. All right, we're behind schedule here. What we're going to do is Dragon Ball will come back to you. Let's get the break in first. Then we'll come back. We'll do Dragon Ball's updates. We'll get ready for cricket as well in this next half hour. Our next hour, I want to talk to you. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tune to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Stone Avenue near Fort Lowell. Stone Avenue north of Fort Lowell, crash reported some slowing southbound. On Stone Avenue approaching Fort Lowell, busy travel for westbound Ajoet Mission and southbound. Nogales Highway at Los Reales. 61 the overnight lows, 95 sunny skies tomorrow, 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Whoever said opposites attract was definitely talking about the new Spicy menu at DQ. Spicy flamethrower chicken strip served with a dip of sweet DQ soft serve. Sounds wrong, but tastes so right. The new Spicy menu at DQ. Happy tastes good. For a limited time at participating locations.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Bradley down into the lane, lay it up and good.
I take great comfort knowing that he's our point guard, and and I have great confidence that he's one of the best players in the country.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
En garde! U.S. Olympians do it. Your neighbor's kid does it. And yes, it's the only socially acceptable way to carry a sword: fencing. No, not the kind that keeps dogs in. This is the Olympic and Paralympic sport for all ages. Fencing is fun, safe, and welcoming. Physical chess that builds both body and mind. Kids and adults make friends fast, stay active, and even open doors to college programs nationwide. Learn more and find beginner classes near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Hear that?
That's Mike. He took ZzzQuil Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZzzQuil Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Ever notice how your floors still look dirty, even after you mop?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Swiffer Power Mop gives you a deeper clean you can actually see.
I'm listening.
Unlike string mops, Swiffer Power Mop absorbs more dirt and locks it away, even in those hard-to-reach spots.
Like behind the toilet?
Exactly. The new micro scrubbers deliver thousands of tiny deep cleaning actions, so your floors look, smell, and feel clean.
Bye-bye, dirty floors. Hello, Swiffer Power Mop.
Try the Swiffer Power Mop. Love it or your money back.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hour number 2 of our show. How is your Monday? Mine has been long to this point. We got up and we drove back from San Diego, where we were this weekend covering the Arizona Wildcats. We'll dive into all of that coming up for you straight ahead. 520-848-1290 is our number. It's hot here. It was hot in San Diego, but I was inside a lot. I got back here. I'm like, man, I stepped out of the car, and I don't know what is the temperature right now. Dragon Ball, like 95 degrees?
About 98 degrees. About 96 degrees today. It's going to top out, I think, at 99 on Wednesday, if I remember correctly.
98 degrees. What did they sing?
Oh, they've got a couple of songs. I don't remember exactly. I know that they were. I think they were the one in the Mulan.
Did you hear the lady that I guess it was Nick Lachey was 98 degrees, right? Did you hear somebody in one of the press conferences ask Sean Miller about that? I guess Nick Lachey was a college basketball manager at Miami of Ohio when Sean Miller was on the staff, and the reporter asked him asked Sean Miller if he remembered Nick Lachey, the student manager.
Oh,
he might be the most. That might be I like as a former college basketball student manager myself. That's a pretty. There have been some so I went to USC. Will Ferrell. Now I don't know that Will was a student manager per se. He worked in the sports information office when I was in college, so he was more of a sports information intern, but not necessarily a team manager. But apparently Nick Lachey was a basketball manager. I know he's always had an affinity and a love for basketball, but I didn't know he was a manager in college. So that was pretty interesting to find out over the weekend. All right, we missed out on Dragon Ball's update, so let's get that now. Dragon Ball he knows everything. He knows everything happening in sports here in Southern Arizona as well as sports around the world.
Well, I don't know if I would say I know everything, but I will say that, again, we mentioned it at the top of the show. Again, Tommy Lloyd and the Wildcats are off to the Sweet 16 after coming away with victories over Long Island University and Utah State last night in that barn burner on Sunday. And it was another great outing by Jaden Bradley and Braden Burries that helped go ahead and push the Cats to that victory. When asked about what they'll need to improve upon to get through this second weekend of the NCAA tournament, Tommy Lloyd had this to say.
I think, managing segments in the game when you have a lead would be great. I think, what did we get up, 16 or something? I mean, something like that, 16, 18. Yeah, I mean, can you make the next run? And I know that's so easy to say and hard to do, but sometimes if you can make that next run, get up to 23, 24, you can kind of break a team's will. But that team hung with it today. They were impressive. They had answers for everything, and they hit a bunch of timely shots, and I'm sure they feel like they missed some timely shots, or a call or two didn't go their way. I mean, that's how the game goes sometimes. So, I respected Utah State a lot going into this game, and they did nothing but reinforce that, for me.
Again, the Cats will go ahead and turn their attention now to San Jose, where they will go and battle against Arkansas on Thursday. Tip-off for that game set for about 6:45 p.m. Arizona time. Opening day set for this week, David Kelly.
Yes.
The Diamondbacks and manager Torey Lavello announcing the starting rotation beyond Zach Gallen, who will be your opening day starter for the Diamondbacks. Following Gallen will be Ryan Nelson, Eduardo Rodriguez, Michael Soroka, and Brandon Fott, as Merrill Kelly opens up the season on the 15-day injured list because of those back concerns. And the school up north in Arizona State has looked to finalize a deal with St. Mary's Randy Bennett to be the next head men's basketball coach. Bennett is an Arizona native who helped coach St. Mary's to 12 national tournament appearances since he took on that job back in 2001. And I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. So, again, we were in San Diego this weekend covering your Arizona Wildcats. Now, we will not, at least most likely, not be in San Jose this week. That's always subject to change, but it's an earlier setup this week. So, at the moment, as it stands right now at 4:10 on Monday, I do not have any plans to go to San Jose to cover the next round of the tournament. But again, that could change by 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock tonight. So we'll keep you posted as the week
Nothing
goes
like
on.
Travel plans that are by the second on the second.
Right, exactly.
At least you're not flying out.
Well, I don't know, man. Especially the way I've been hearing about airports being jammed up and everything like that. I mean, I can't. Not flying. I mean, I don't know if I want to. I definitely know I don't want to drive 12 hours. I mean, 5.5 hours to San Diego is a very doable, comfortable drive. But driving 12 hours to San Jose by myself, I don't know if that's anything I'm really all that interested in. Maybe if the Wildcats want to give me a seat on the plane, then I certainly will fly up there.
Not to mention,
with them.
how are you going to get the device that is our Comrex into security and try to explain what exactly that device is?
It's actually not, because here's what I actually pack it in I don't take it in that silver case that you're used to seeing it in.
Right.
I take it in an actual travel bag because I have to roll it in, because I have to carry it into whatever arena I'm in or wherever I'm broadcasting from. So when I went to Las Vegas a few years ago, for that Pac-12 tournament extravaganza, both the women and the men, I was having to walk to the arena, so I packed it in one of my small rolling suitcases. Excuse me, I just sneezed off air. So that's just what I did, and so it would actually be pretty easy because it would just be in a regular carry-on. I would just put the access and all of that stuff in a carry-on, and then I have another. I would probably have to repack. Like I'd have to pack everything into that carry-on, but that would just basically be how I would take it onto the plane. So it actually would not be that difficult at all to do that. But
just getting through the line, though, is probably going to be your biggest problem.
I think that's everybody's biggest problem right now is getting through TSA, because we're in a government shutdown and apparently TSA is not working. There's reports. I was listening to news radio on my drive, got up about 7 o'clock and got on the road about 8 from San Diego, and I'm hearing that ICE is going to be working for TSA now. So I'm sure that will delay things even more, trying to get through the airport if you're trying to fly somewhere. So I don't know. No plans at the moment to go to San Jose, but that's always subject to change. So turn on the TV, turn on the radio Thursday, and who knows? I might.
You might be here. You might be there.
I might be there. Might not.
You may be all the way up in like Yuma, just to go ahead and say, hey, we're on location at a location.
I stopped in Yuma on the way back. It's really interesting. Drive. You've got the Imperial Dunes out there, which is kind of a cool little thing. Have you ever seen the Imperial Dunes out on the I-8 Cricket?
Probably.
That's where they. It's like, I guess people go up there and it's like a very popular place to dune buggy, as well as like take pictures of the sand that make it look like you're actually out in the middle of the Asia, the Middle East. Like you're out in the middle of the desert. You can just make that. You can recreate that shot.
Nowadays, you're just recreating the scenes from the Dune movies now. That's mostly like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Trying to be your own Timothy Chalamet or something like that. Was it Sully Abagib or something? Whatever the character's like catchphrase is. You ever seen in the movie Dune movies there, David Kelly?
I don't know. I've not seen. Is Timothy Chalamet? Is that the one that goes out with one of the Kardashian girls?
No, I don't know about that. I know that he was the ping pong guy for a little bit.
Oh,
that's funny.
The ping pong guy.
He's at the new movie Marty Supreme.
Oh,
it's funny you guys know him, ping pong guy, and the guy that's dating one of the Jenners. That's funny.
Actually, yeah, she's a Jenner, not a Kardashian.
He'd probably be mortified if that was his call to fame is I'm the ping pong guy and I'm dating a Jenner.
Better than the other call of fame of the guy who hates ballet now, because that's a whole
fair.
new thing.
That's a new thing. Yes.
Oh, so cricket, I got up today in San Diego, and now I'm back here in Tucson.
Welcome.
And I never got to the beach one time.
Well, you were a little bit busy.
A little bit busy, yeah. I thought so. So here's my life. I thought, okay, so Saturday, all we had to do was go cover the press conferences. So I figured our press conferences at 1:30. We'd be done by like 3:15, 3:30 at the latest. I figure, okay, maybe I'll work the second half of the day. I'll go down, find me a beach spot, and take my computer and do some of my work down by the beach. That was kind of my thinking, right? So 8 o'clock, I'm still in the media room.
I was going to say, yeah. What your plan? That was not what was going to happen.
No, yeah.
That vision.
8 o'clock,
no.
I'm still I'm the last one in a cold, dank media room at 8 o'clock, and the guy's like, "Are you almost finished?"
Oh, jeez. So a break you did not have.
Yeah. So I did not get the best laid plans of working at the beach did not come to fruition.
I'm sorry about that.
It's so do you have anything enlightening to get me over that disappointment today?
You might not think it's enlightening, but do you want me to share anyway?
Yes. So crickets got quotes.
Boom, bam, bang, bang. Well, today is National Coyote Day.
Ooh.
So
I did not see any coyotes on the road when I was driving.
Okay, that's probably a good sign for them on their day. My quote is from N. Scott Mamaday from Housemaid of Dawn. Coyotes have the gift of seldom being seen. They keep to the edge of vision and beyond, loping in and out of cover on the plains and highlands. And at night, when the whole world belongs to them, they parley at the river with the dogs, their higher, sharper voices full of authority and rebuke. They are an old council of clowns, and they are listened to.
Yes, they are. And you're usually gone, I think, by the time they start yelling. It's generally between around 6:15 and 7 o'clock here. I'll be here working, and they'll start yelping out there, and it gets louder and louder. And I think the dogs next door get involved in it as well.
And the Humane Society dogs?
Yeah, exactly. So it just becomes like this. Exactly. Oh, see, there you go. There you go.
Did they sound like this?
That's exactly what it sounds like. And now it's happening in my neighborhood. Like several nights, it happened like twice last week. They just start screaming at like 10 o'clock at night. It's like okay, what is it, mating season?
Yes.
What's going on out there?
Well, it's not mating. They're denning now. They're about to have babies. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, and I think when you hear them calling, contrary to popular belief, they're actually calling their family. Like, hey, where are you? Let's go out. We've got stuff to do. Where is everyone?
Where is
It's like the call to, come on, rise to a cake. Come on, everybody. We got to go.
Okay, so what do they got to do?
They got to go find something to eat.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Hopefully not somebody's dog or cat.
No, they do not announce that they're eating something. They wouldn't have lived as long as their millions or whatever of years.
There you go. Absolutely. So, yeah, it's gotten a little loud in the foothills the last couple of weeks with all the yelping. And I was wondering if that may have had anything to do with this unseasonably warm weather we've had.
It could be.
Yeah.
And they might have made it a little early, but there's only one time a year that coyotes will mate and they'll probably be having babies maybe actually birthing very soon.
Okay.
Maybe this month, maybe beginning of April.
So we'll be seeing the little ones out back here probably pretty soon?
Maybe around Mayish.
Mayish?
Maybe
Okay.
end of May. And
I'm sure you'll have pictures.
Oh, I might even have them taped practicing singing.
Oh, okay.
That's adorable, by the way.
Did you hear I heard rumors that we might be getting like a station
coyote?
dog.
Are we getting a coyote?
I thought I heard it was a station dog. Maybe I don't know.
No, we might do
borrowing a station
dog from
or
Pack.
something from yeah.
We might do like a day trip. We decided that fostering might be too much to have a dog here
all the time
alone for like 10 or 12 hours at night. So
because that's the last thing I need when I'm here at 2 a.m. is a dog wandering in, wanting me to walk him.
Please take me outside. I want to play with the coyotes.
So now I got to be here another half hour walking the dog around the building at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, we kind of thought that'd be too much. Like, and not having even a dog wandering, putting a dog in a kennel for that long.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with traffic and weather.
And from the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. With collisions, Ina and I-10, that's a hit and run. Another hit and run occurred at McGee and Shannon. Crash Stone Avenue north of Fort Lowell and southbound slowing on Stone approaching Fort Lowell. 61 the overnight low, 95 sunny tomorrow and 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Hey, it's DK on the Sports Tip. Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell your Alexa device to play Wildcats Radio 1290. This is your home of Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Brad Evans here to help you beat the Bulls with Westwood One Sports. How sweet it is! Down south, Illinois has advantages against Houston. The Illini rarely make turnovers, blast the glass, and have the best offense in the game. The Cougs are tenacious, but Illinois plus 130 on the money line is a sensational value. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 40 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcasts. So if you've been injured, make the right choice. First
Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. We've been proud corporate sponsors of Arizona Athletics for nearly 6 decades, and we've seen a lot of the Wildcat Championship drives. We're also proud to be the locals' choice for tires and automotive repair. Our 14 award-winning locations have helped thousands of Arizonans get to and from work, home, school, and every other desert destination since 1960. At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we know the difference in your next winning drive might come down to a split-second decision behind the wheel, a single defensive stop, or an amazing fast break down the lane. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is here to give you and your vehicle the assist you need with the most affordable tires and guaranteed quality automotive repairs, backed by our Arizona-approved protection, to make sure you have a winning drive every day. Find out more at jackfurriers.com, or you can call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by today. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Shh, here she comes.
Surprise! They sent a duplicate shipment to your flower shop! Now you have to pay for 1,000 extra carnations! Also, there's a beehive outside your store! And they're super aggressive! There's thousands of them!
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise? Saving 13% on commercial auto insurance when you pay in full.
Also, the egg salad you just ate was expired! Gross!
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you wash that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's a dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Life's busy. Errands, kids, work, the I-10 grind. Who's got time to sit at a detail shop?
That's why Recon Auto Detailing comes to me. Mobile detailing keeps my car spotless without losing a minute of my day.
From mobile washes to in-shop ceramic coatings, tint, and paint protection, we're Tucson's one-stop shop for keeping your ride looking new. Convenience, care, confidence, that's Recon Auto Detailing. Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
I'm Taylor Bisciotti with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The Super Bowl champion Seahawks wasting no time in keeping their young core intact. The team announcing they've exercised the fifth-year options on wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba and cornerback Devin Witherspoon. Both players are now in line for big deals in the near future. Teams have until May 1st to pick up the fifth-year options on first-round picks from the 2023 NFL Draft. The Falcons pulling off a trade with the Eagles as Atlanta is acquiring safety Sidney Brown from Philly. The trade also includes a swap of multiple late-round draft picks. And Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow took part in Saturday's Fanatics Flag Football Classic against Team USA, and he'd love the opportunity to play in the 2028 Olympics. Burrow saying, quote, "I've always wanted to play in the Olympics. The opportunity to win a gold medal is something I've thought about. I think it would be something very special." This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
He's going right at it. Aimed right at it.
Boy, and it's right at it. It's the right one.
Oh, what a shot.
How about it?
Every single shot this man has hit today and yesterday. Right at the flag. Distance control's been fantastic, and this could be one of the great comebacks to come from 9 shots behind.
Alker for birdie and the win. And he's done it, Steven Alker.
What a player.
Trailed by 9 after round 1, beats the Hall of Famer Padraig Carrington for the second year in a row. Alker birdies 18 on the first playoff hole.
Stephen Alker, your champion at the Cologuard Classic for a second consecutive year. I was there last year to see Stephen win this on the 18th at La Paloma. Unfortunately, missed this year's event being over with the Wildcats in San Diego. But Stephen Alker joins us now on DK on the Sports Tip. Stephen, congratulations on a second consecutive win. I would imagine coming back from 9 shots in a 3-round event is a lot more difficult, obviously, than being able to do that in a tournament that's 72 holes.
Yeah, well, thank you, first of all. It was a fun week and great to defend. But, yeah, I was behind the 8 ball and certainly round 2 kind of set it up with a 900 and got me back in the tournament. And, a chance to have a shot at it. And yesterday worked out. I got a little bit lucky to get in the playoff, but hey, these things happen in golf, and you just keep plugging away, right? It's like fighting cancer. You just keep plugging away and you stay positive and hope for the best.
So now 2 years champion, you've got this course figured out, huh? What is it? What is it about this course that either you like or plays to your game?
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of tight. You got trouble on both sides, left and right, and I don't have too many problems hitting fairways, and iron play is a strong part of my game, so you've got to be dialed in with your irons, and at the end of the day, it comes down to the putter, but it definitely helps if you keep it in the fairway and give yourself some good looks during the round.
When Bo Van Pelt goes out there and puts up a course record 62 to start things, what goes through the mind of somebody that's out there playing against that? Do you think man, we've got some work to do? How do you kind of create your game plan about how even to try to work your way up the leaderboard?
Yeah, well, you just kind of keep doing what you're doing. You can't get too focused on what the other guys are doing. You got to keep an eye on it. You want to stay close to the leaderboard and hang around at least and give yourself a chance. But I think for me it was like, okay, well, I've had a slow start. At least I know, hey, an 8, 9, 10 under is out there. Someone's done it. I've shot low there before, so it's out there. It's just a matter of, as I said, getting a little bit of lady luck on my side and shooting that good second round to get back in the tournament.
Now, obviously, Stephen, you're from New Zealand, but you now make your home here in Arizona, up in the valley, up in the Phoenix area, Fountain Hills. How long have you been playing desert golf? What have you learned about what it takes to win when temperatures are above 95 degrees?
Yeah. Hey, it was 95, 100, 105 at the weekend. It wasn't a problem. It felt like just a game of golf at home. So we've been here for 15 years full time. I actually started coming to the valley in I think it was 2003 was the first year I played PGA Tour out here. So it's been a while. I'm used to the conditions, used to desert golf, and La Paloma is just the type of course that it's just tricky. You just got to play your way around and try and keep your nose clean, stay out of the canyons and stay out of trouble, and you'll be okay if you do that. But I think maybe living in Arizona for this long has actually kind of helped me out a little bit, especially with the temperatures anyway.
Stephen Alker is our guest. He is the two-time champion, back-to-back champion at the Cologuard Classic. Won it yesterday, beating Padraig Harrington in a playoff. Your career is interesting, Stephen, from the fact that you really made your name playing on tours in your home, in the Australias and in Europe. I wanted to ask you. So, what is professional golf like in say like on the PGA Tour of the Australias? What is it like? Is it very similar to the PGA Tour in the United States? What are some of the similarities and differences?
Yeah, well, I think first of all, the golf course is a little bit different. Some of the sandbelt Australian courses, and we're maybe a little more parkland. We don't have as many resort courses in New Zealand and Australia. So, the golf courses one is a little different. The grass is different. But I played the New Zealand Open a couple of weeks ago, and the talent down there is pretty amazing. It really is. There's some great young New Zealand kids, Australian guys that just bombing off the tee and really good quality, actually world-class players. So the talent's good, and it just shows, the type of golf courses we've got down there and the competition that's down there and the players they're producing. It's pretty amazing. So I think New Zealand and Australia golf has got a lot of potential and a bright future.
So who was your guy growing up? Who was the guy? Was there a guy? Was it a foreign player? Was it an American player that you watched that made you fall in love with the game?
Yeah, I just the old greats, the old timers, Nicholas. I love watching Tom Watson play. I just love, the way he went about played the game. I love Seve Ballesteros, his imagination. So all those guys, I just love watching them play and the demeanour and how they played. And, hopefully some of that's kind of fed into my game a little bit, especially watching Tom Watson. But, it's that's kind of all we could do down in New Zealand. We didn't have, we had like Bob Charles and some Frank Nobelos and John Listers and guys like that who were good players, but we didn't have a big nucleus of players like here in the States. So we tended to follow players over here a little bit more.
We're chatting with Stephen Alker. He is the champion of the Cologuard Classic. He has been on the Champions Tour where he's won now 11 times. This has, I guess, been the tour that has made your career. And you won the whole thing. You won the Charles Schwab Cup. I believe it was your first full season on the tour, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 2022. Yeah, it was first full season. I played 10 events before then, and then come out and took the title, which was really nice. It kind of shows that if you win that title, you've had a consistent year. You won some golf tournaments, and you've kept playing well for most of the year. And I did it again in 2024, which is even better. I kind of followed it up with another Charles Schwab Cup. So that was really nice. It was super cool.
So you mentioned you've been living in Arizona now since 2003, so about 20 plus years. What made you decide to make the desert your American home?
I think it was just a good base. I've got an English wife, so it was a nice hub for us to get back to New Zealand or get to the UK, kind of right in the middle. We just enjoyed it out here. The winters are great, facilities were good, and we just got a good feel for the valley here in Phoenix. So we've been here on and off since 2003. I went back to Europe and played a little bit, and then come back again and been here since I think 2010. So we're coming up 16 years now.
Now, I heard you guys were chanting of U of A out at the course after the win yesterday. Do you watch much Wildcat basketball?
Well, not so much. I was a little bit torn, to be honest, because my daughter goes to University Salt Lake City. She's up in Logan.
Utah, University of Utah
State. So she was, yep. So we had the Aggies. They were playing the Aggies, and I knew it was going to be a super tough game. I mean, I think after the first half, Arizona took off and won the game pretty easily. But so I was a little bit torn there. I mean, my daughter called after the game, and she was a little bit disappointed, but. Hey, I got the best of both worlds, right? I mean, whoever won, I was gonna be a winner anyway.
So your daughter goes to Utah State.
Yes, yeah. She's been up there. She's in her second year aviation program now.
Wow.
Yeah, she's doing great. She loves it up there, and she's having a blast. Yep.
That is I feel bad for her then that her team, but they played well. I mean, it was definitely a good ball game. They made us all a little nervous in the second half of that game, and so but it was a great ball game for sure. Yeah. So how does your season in terms of do you play all the events? How does that work for you, Stephen?
No, that's a little bit too much golf for me. I tend to, play no more than 3 weeks in a row.
Okay.
We have a couple of stretches. There's going to be like 4 weeks. So, I like to have breaks, and there so I can just work on the game and keep the body in shape. But I'm going to play around about 21 events, I think I've scheduled this year. And that's kind of my number, 21, 22. And we've got, I think, 27 on the schedule. So, I've got a boy in the UK as well doing school. So, try and spend a little bit of time there as well, and just trying to cover all bases really. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're enjoying it. 21's a nice number for me, and kind of I feel like I can compete my best, and I'm fresh most of the time at that number.
Do you have a home course? Yeah, up in Phoenix?
Yeah, well, TPC I play out of.
Okay.
We have privileges up here to play the TPC courses. So. Yeah, I tend to play and practice here, and I spent some time out at Eagle Mountain and the courses around Fountain Hills a little bit at times. So, yeah, I've always got someone to play and practice, and we get some pretty good games up here. We've got a bunch of tour players who kind of hang out at the TPC, so there's always a game going for sure.
And who are you playing for? Well, in terms of the Cologuard Classic and colorectal cancer survivors, who are you playing for this weekend? And did you and was that person there, or how did that work for you?
Yeah, no, I was unfortunately Todd Harkins passed away a couple of years ago, and his wife Wendy and daughter was out there, and it was a super week. We met them on the first tee, and we got to hang out a little bit after the presentation and got to know them. Especially my wife, she was there and got to know Wendy a bit. So, it's just a sort of tournament that you kind of feel like you're playing for for a little bit more. That week you just play for more than yourself and more than your family, and it really is a special tournament. We don't have anything like this on tour, so it is a special week and special to win it as well.
Yeah, we had a chance to chat with Wendy a few weeks ago and hear her story about her husband Todd. So that was awesome that you got a chance to play for her this past weekend.
It was an honor.
Yeah.
It was an honor.
Stephen, hey, we appreciate you taking some time to join us. Continued success, and we're looking forward for your opportunity to three-peat next year.
All right, sounds great. I'll be there. Thanks for having us on.
There we go. Stephen Alker, the two-time consecutive champion of the Cologuard Classic, 25, 26, won both of them on extra holes, beating Jason Karen last year, I should say, and Padraig Harrington yesterday out at the La Paloma Country Club. It's one of those things. I said it last week on the program. Sad I had to miss the event because I was over with the Wildcats, because it is always a fun time up there right down the street from where I live with the tournament at La Paloma now, and to get out there and see some great golf. All right, DK on the sports tip. If you were out there this weekend at the Cologuard Classic, want to hear from you, 520-848-1290. What did you like about the way the course played in the temperatures? I remember Dragon Ball and I went out there last year. It was kind of chilly the day that we did the show, and it was actually kind of windy. I thought the tent was going to blow. I had to have Dragon Ball take the tent down because I thought it was going to blow away.
What a change a year makes.
That day that we were out there last year, I was like, yeah, we might want to take this thing down because I never remember to take the weights or anything like that to hold the tent down. So we were like, this thing might be we might find this thing up on the 17th if we let it stay up. It might be on the 17th hole before we know what's going on. So we had to take that down but this weekend it was hot and the sun was out. But if you were out there, I want to hear what you had to say about it. If you were in San Diego with the Wildcats, give us a call as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you saw over there with your basketball team. Let's get a break in here. Cricket's got everything you need to know, traffic and weather every 20 minutes on the 5.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Stone Avenue north of Fort Lowell. Crash occurred on Stone north of Fort Lowell. Some slowdowns on southbound Stone Avenue approaching Fort Lowell. Other collisions, McGee and Shannon, a hit and run, and another hit and run, Ina at I-10. 61, the overnight low, 95, sunny skies tomorrow, and 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Download our app. It slaps. Nobody covers Southern Arizona sports like we do. Don't miss out on any of the highlights, stories, and analysis. The flagship home for Arizona Wildcats athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. begin. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Oh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the Neighborly Done Right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed. Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing, a Neighborly company.
Quick throw, retro, makes the catch for the touchdown.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is your home this NFL season for the Carolina Panthers.
Kicks it left. Oh, hit him. Loose. Oh, we got it. We got it. The Panthers cover it up near midfield. Oh, my God.
Catch Arizona football alum Tetero McMillan and South Point Catholic High School grad Lathan Ransom all season long right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. EssentialPest.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Spring is in the air and our warm temperatures are about to turn hot. Now is the time to take advantage of pre-summer savings before the hot summer weather. Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is offering 5-year, no-interest financing on the installation of green HVAC systems, OAC. Call now for your free estimate, 520-492-0748, or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
The Seattle Seahawks have made Jackson Smith-Njigba the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL by giving the Super Bowl champion a 4-year, $168 million deal. Not only is this a huge deal for JSN, but it's an even bigger deal for Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua, who is entering the final year of his contract. It's reported that the Rams could be working with Nacua on a deal right now. I'm Adam Abdallah.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. Their max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Some of the dramatics of the NCAA tournament took place where we were in San Diego.
Now 3.9 seconds, no fouls to give.
Bill Self is out near half court saying no fouls, no fouls. Inbound comes to Darling. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Darling on the drive to the rim. Layup is good. Layup is good. good. St. John's wins it 67-65. The St. John's Red Storm storm into the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1999. The officials will confirm it at the monitor. Did Dylan Darling beat the clock? Live, it looked like he did.
Or is there some time left on the clock? Did he beat the clock and leave some time for Kansas?
Darling drove it down the right side of the lane, got past Elmarco Jackson. There's no time left. The ball left his hands in time, and St. John's is going to party like it's 1999. They are in the Sweet 16 for the first time in over a quarter century.
Boy, Kevin Kugler, the only cliche he didn't throw in there was Dylan is the darling of March. I mean, he had them all in there. Party like it's 1999. Red Storm storming into the Sweet 16. That was I was out of the tunnel. The game got close, so I said, well, let me walk out and watch the end of this game. And I actually took video of it. I haven't posted it because, the NCAA is really weird about video and audio and that
How
kind
many
of thing.
times
So
over the course of the first weekend did we hear somebody in the press room say, reminder, no filming, the press conferences.
Can't even film the press conferences
No filming
anymore.
the press conferences.
Yeah, exactly.
And every time some poor soul forgot to say who they were, state your name and your affiliation.
Yeah, that guy.
We were just talking about TSA not too long ago. Put those guys on TSA.
That guy was funny, man. I didn't get his name, but he was enforcing the rules in the meeting room in San Diego. For sure, yeah. I think it was that poor little girl from The Athletic who kept not saying what her name was, and he just kept jumping on her.
Where do you work? Where do you work?
Oh man, yeah, it was fun. It was a well-run event. I thought it was very well. Every time that's the second time I've been and covered the Wildcats in San Diego. It's a very well-run event. It was much different, obviously, being there in a radio and a TV role. We were able to do our show on the floor Thursday, which was really cool. During the open practices, we just kind of took the spots where Brian and Ryan broadcast because they obviously were not using it that day. We were able to do the show there that day. And then Friday and Sunday, we were kind of in the back. It wasn't necessarily ideal in terms of a setup for, the video part of it and being able to see things. But it was the internet was fast. And that's always the most
that
important
fiber
thing.
wire, man. That's fiber wire.
Yeah. That's always the most important thing when you're dealing with an event like that. You want to be able to get a clean connection so you can be able to do your work and do it as quickly as possible. So St. John's. I don't know if you were here. Were you here when we talked about the brackets? I don't think you were. Dragon Ball. Have you done a bracket? I know you're kind of not a gambling guy.
I didn't do the bracket.
You didn't do a bracket. I have St. John's in my Final Four.
I think St. John's was the safe pick for a lot of people coming out of that particular bracket, just because I don't think anybody's really feeling that hot on Duke right now.
Exactly. So I've got St. John's.
And plus, it's just Duke hatred. I mean, that's always a tried true and tradition when you're making a bracket.
We did have an 8-1 upset yesterday. The defending national champions went down.
Koch calls the break. Sturts sprints to the ball, gets fed up the right sideline, into the front court. Bounce Fulgaris. He puts a jumper. Got it! It's a three for the lead. Florida races the floor, down 1, 3.9. And Iowa wants timeout. The last timeout between the two clubs, Iowa took a 73-72 lead, 3.9 seconds.
I'm not sure what Ben McCollum is thinking there. You're giving them a free look.
No pressure on entry. They chained the inbounder. It's Condon to Lee. Sprints across. He's the shooter. Lee driving to the cup underneath. Straight to the lane. Can't get a shot. And Iowa wins. A Sunshine State stunner. Iowa bounces Florida in Tampa. 73-72. The reigning champion Gators are gone. The 1 is done in the South. And the 9 is on to Sweet 16.
That announcer, I'm not sure who that announcer was, but he was quite excited about that from Westwood One Sports. So we got a number 9 Iowa Hawkeyes team against the number 4. And I guess, can we call it Nebraska the Cinderella? Because they'd never won in this tournament ever. And now they've won twice. And they won That game against Vanderbilt, oh my gosh, that shot was halfway down and came out.
Yikes.
Let's hear that one too. We have that one. Let's hear that one.
AKO Cherokee with nobody from Nebraska in front of him, ready to inbound. Into Tanner from three-quarter court. The heave, the prayer. He almost banked it in. Oh, my. Off the window, off the front of the rim, and it popped out. No good. And we have Husker madness in Oklahoma City.
That was the Westwood One call of that play right there. We'll let you hear. We also have the Nebraska version of that. I don't know if you saw the video of the Kent Pavelka is the longtime broadcaster, and the players and him jumping around and whatnot. And he's a team broadcaster, so we'll give him some grace for celebrating that accomplishment for that program, which had never won an NCAA tournament game, and now they've won 2, and they're in their first ever Sweet 16. So it's a lot of fun stuff happening.
Oh yeah.
In terms of that. So why do we have so many early basketball games today? Am I missing something? Is today a holiday? It's 7th. Okay, I'm not thinking it's almost 5 o'clock. So yeah, all these games start at 7 on the East Coast. So that's so I'm wondering. I think we have a top play, but I think it's on a game that's already started. So you can't bet it, but we have for you. So here it is.
I'm Pat Boyle, here to help you beat the books in Westwood One Sports. The Red Hot Lakers head to Detroit to take on the Pistons tonight, and I think the win streak for the Lake Show hits double digits. The Pistons are without superstar Cade Cunningham with the collapsed lung, and though they're 6-2 without him this year, their offensive rating drops more than 10 points. Simply put, I don't believe in the Pistons long-term without Cade. Not tonight against Luka and the Lakers playing their best ball of the season. Lakers are a short favorite. I'm taking them. I'm Pat Boyle, bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, so we've been flipping these bets, but I did like that one tonight. I like the Lakers the way they're playing right now on the road, so I decided to keep that at -1.5. And right now, that game has started. They're in the second quarter, and the Pistons, of course, are winning by 5 points, 40-35.
Give it a little bit of time. You got to give it a little bit of time.
Luka's already got 17 points in that game. So we'll keep an eye. We've got the Lakers -1.5 on that game tonight over the Pistons. 520-848-1290 is our number. If you want to get in on the program, talk NBA, talk Cologuard Classic, talk Arizona Wildcats. Big weekend for Arizona Athletics. We'll get into that in the 5 o'clock hour. Right now, Dragon Ball has more about what's happening in Southern Arizona sports as well as sports around the world.
Well, looking at the Arizona Gymcats, they're not going to have to take a long trip to go to the NCAA Regionals. The team officially included in this year's NCAA tournament. They managed to land themselves in the Tempe Regional. It was a rough conference championship event for the Gymcats, but they will be taking on Arizona State in the first round of Wednesday's April 1st winner, set to take on the regional semifinal on Thursday. That's going to be against Florida, Cal, or Penn State. Again, all those teams rank in the top 20 in the National Gymnastics poll. And the Suns finally snapped their long losing streak, managing to go and get a victory over the Raptors as they ran away with a 20-plus point win at home. 15 threes certainly played a large role in that, as well as strong bench play from key reserves. And when asked about what the team needs to do to finish this final stretch of the season before the playoffs start, Jordan Ott had this to say.
We try to keep it as basically as we can. Take care of your business today. We know we want to get healthy. We want to play the right way. We do feel, again, we're playing better of late. As we add bodies, we've got to keep it going. We got to insert and improve. So everyone's fully aware. You get to this point in the year, you're not hiding. Everyone checks the standings all the same. We just don't talk about it as much.
Again, they got 10 games left on the season before the playoffs start, and their next game on the docket will be against the Nuggets at home. It's a bad news for the Atlanta Braves, as they will not have star right-hander Spencer Strider for the start of this upcoming season, with reports that he strained his oblique ahead of opening day on Thursday. Again, still recovering from his elbow surgery that forced him to miss most of 2024. Strider had a less than impressive campaign last season, going 7-14 with a 4.45 ERA in 23 starts. He looked to have reclaimed a little bit of his form here in spring ball, but this injury likely sets him back, at least for now, with the Braves pitching staff already down Spencer Schwellenbach and Hurston Waldrep, both of which are on the 60-day injured list. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
is coming home.
Firing, caught, touchdown Arizona. Braden Stooks picks it off, takes it right away. The Cats win the Cup. They win their 9th game of the season, and they do it emphatically.
We are Wildcats Radio, 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Stone Avenue north of Fort Lowell. Crash occurred on Stone north of Fort Lowell. Some slowdowns on southbound Stone Avenue approaching Fort Lowell. Other collisions, McGee and Shannon, a hit and run, and another hit and run, Ina at I-10. 61, the overnight low, 95, sunny skies tomorrow, and 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places to take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Psst. Hey, Gary, check it out.
What's he doing?
Don't bother me. Is he...
I think he is. William?
Don't bother me.
Are you daydreaming?
I was. Now I'm talking to you. You look like you were a million miles away. I've been reading this book. How to Be Happy While Still Being Grumpy?
By Frederick J. Fussy Pants?
I've learned I'm happiest when I know our customers get an early Alaskification. It's one of the best ways to catch trouble before it happens. And I've learned I'm happiest when we promise no breakdowns for a year.
What else? What else makes you happy?
That's it. Alaskifications make me happy.
Alaskifications make our customers happy.
Gary's right. Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important.
It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling? AlaskanAC.com. Schedule now.
Here it comes.
Surprise! There's an avocado shortage! Now half your food truck menu is costing more than it's making you! Also, you're out of napkins!
Those aren't cheap! Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise, saving 13% on commercial auto insurance when you pay in full.
Also, an ice cream truck stole your parking spot! Looks like you're in a turf war!
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Ahoy, matey! Is that a new phone?
Aye, Captain, that's my new Samsung Galaxy S25 FE.
You must have paid a pretty doubloon for that.
Nay, 'twas zero down from Cricket Wireless.
So, you plundered it.
Nay again, 'tis a monthly payment plan with bread pay.
You're shivering me timbers.
I shiver you not. Me first payment is next month.
Aye, that's not a plunder. That's a steal.
Get a new Samsung Galaxy S25 FE for $0 down when you pay over time with bread pay. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Subject to approval of credit application. Bread pay loans are made by Comenity Capital Bank and Bread Financial Company.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're gonna be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WELL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WELL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WELL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code WELL.
Advantage Air Mechanical, the team you can trust. Call 792-9400.
When it comes to the comfort and indoor air quality of your home and office, Advantage Air Mechanical has you covered. Breathing healthy air and having reliable air conditioning is important. If you or someone you know is in need of air conditioning services or a new system installation, we are here to help. Advantage Air Mechanical, 792-9400. AZROC 214570.
There's only one place to catch Brian Jeffries, the voice of your Arizona Wildcats.
Grabbed by Del Orso, who drives the baseline and slams it home. He did what?
We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Nobody covers your cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at iccu.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
So what was the play of the game Sunday for your Arizona Wildcats in their 78-66 second round tournament win over Utah State? We kind of did this a month ago. I liked this one early. This was early second half.
Bradley up between the rings, chased out there by Colby King, who's checked in. Bounce pass right side, Burries. Down to Pete, double team, skip it out, Karchinkov fires a rainbow three, it's up and good. Ivan Karchinkov with the Lexus of Tucson Charity three.
Bounce back from the first half for Ivan, who couldn't hit the broadside of a barn from beyond the arc.
40-27 Arizona, expanding the Cats' big lead.
Oh, Ryan is he's not sugarcoating anything. Our guy Ryan Hansen, for sure. And Ivan was not the only one who could not hit that broadside of the barn on Sunday. Jaden Bradley started the game 1 for 9. I mean, it was ugly. I mean, I was sitting next to John Macaluso from Channel 4, News 4 Tucson, and I said at one point, the Wildcats are shooting 28%, and they're up by 9 points. How often can you shoot 28% in a basketball game and be almost up double digits? But that's where the Wildcats were early in that ball game yesterday. It was ugly. That might be a play of the game, or maybe it was this one right here.
All right, Cats inbound the ball out to Bradley. Bradley drives right to the lane. Little scoop shot is up and good. Jaden Bradley with 11 second half points. 65-59 Arizona.
Yeah, Jaden Bradley had a couple of plays that were very interesting there at the end of the game. There was the one Dragon Ball where they were pressing. And again, this is one of the concerns is the Wildcats and how they've dealt with the press. They were pressing, and there was a call that could have gone either way because I want to say it was Bradley had the ball at that particular moment and knocked the defender down. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to call offensive foul, and Utah State's going to get the ball back, and now we're really in trouble. They didn't call it, and he went down and made the and one, which to me was probably the most important play in that second half, because that allowed the Wildcats to stave off the momentum on a play that could have gone drastically wrong if the referee blows his whistle there in that situation. So maybe it's this play right here.
Bradley looking to drive, driving right, kick at corner, Burries, 4 to shoot. Burries, back top, turns, fires a deep three, got it! Oh my, what a shot for Burries. 70-64 Arizona.
That one was the dagger right there for your Arizona Wildcats. Braden Burries just kind of got the ball, stepped back. I think he was probably about 4 feet behind the arc and just fired it. Fired it, and it went in. That I don't know that there's too many players for the Arizona Wildcats over the course of the 18 years I've been doing this that I've seen that can make that shot right there. And that was a pretty impressive one by Braden Burries, who finished the game 3 of 3 from 3, as the Wildcats made 7 3-point shots in the game. So what was your favorite play from the game yesterday? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. DK on the Sports Tip. Let's chat with Brian. Welcome to the program.
What's up, DK? How's it going, man?
I'm good, Brian.
Good. My play last night had to be Burries with 3 at the end. That guy saved me. I was just telling your your phone screener.
Dragon Ball.
That I went on DraftKings last night, and it was 10 to 13 points that Arizona would win, and I would get $600. So I put 100 on Arizona, and I won.
Now, was that before the game or during the game?
That was before the game.
So you put $100 on the Wildcats to win so they had to win between 10 and 13.
10 and 13. So it would have 9 and 14 would have got me, but they won.
Yeah.
And Birdies hit that 3 last night, and I was like, oh, I was so relieved, man. I was like, man.
Let's hear it one more.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't really put money down on like teams, but I felt like Arizona could do it this year, and so that's why I was like, I'm like, man, 10 to 13 points. They weren't looking too great last night, but they still pulled out the W, which is good.
Let's hear that, Brian. Let's hear that one more time since you loved it so much.
Bradley looking to drive, driving right, kick at corner. Burries 4 to shoot. Burries back top, turns, fires a deep 3. Got it! Oh my! What a shot for Burries. 70 to 64, Arizona.
Yeah, that was. I mean, he literally took a jump back. He was already 2 feet behind the arc. He took a jump back to about 4 to 5 feet back and just let that thing fly. And I was like, wow, that's a big time basket right there.
And I love Brian Jeffries. Thank you for that call, Brian.
Brian is the best.
He's amazing. I've been listening to Brian Jeffries for 20 years, man.
That's a long time. That's a long time.
Yeah,
So what do you think about Arkansas, Brian?
Okay, so I know Arkansas is SEC, and I mean, we've had our fair share with SEC teams. Florida, we got, Alabama. I mean, Arkansas, I really think we need to worry about them, but I don't think if we go out there and we play our 4 main dudes and they score 10, 10, 10, 10, I think we'll be all right.
That's what it's been all year long. It's been a lot of balance from this lineup. I mean, that's what it was last night, 14, 11, 18, and 16. 4 guys doing the
Coa's
been
stepping up lately.
He did. I mean, the 10 rebounds, that's kind of what we've been waiting to see
10
from
rebounds
him.
for Koa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think of 14 points, 10 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, again,
I think decent.
He's capable of those double-digit rebound performances. We just haven't seen it a lot this year.
I have a question for you too, DK.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Burries being number 9 on the draft list for the NBA?
Wow. I have not seen the latest draft list, but I can see that because again, he's a guard that can do a number of things. He can shoot the 3. He's not big. He doesn't come off as big and strong, but he is. He can drive the ball to the basket. He can power through contact to get the ball up on the window. So I mean, he's got a lot of qualities. He can run the point if you need him to. I don't know if that's necessarily what his calling is going to be, but he can handle the basketball. He can shoot the basketball. He can drive it to the hole. He can score from multiple different levels. He's a decent free throw shooter. So yeah, and I mean, and I think he's a fair level defender. He'll get better. He's still young. He's gonna get a better at the defensive end. But yeah, I think there's a lot of attractive things. So I'm not necessarily surprised that he's that high on some draft boards.
Yeah, I think it was number 9 on ESPN is projected to go, which I thought was, coming into the season.
We don't know who's going to. I'm trying to think who potentially could be in that realm of teams that might have a shot at that. Obviously, Dallas could be in that realm. How about that? How about putting him down there with Cooper and Kyrie, and that might be a nice fit for him down in Dallas.
And our U of A boy.
Yeah, Brandon Williams
down there
in
San Antonio.
Now. Yeah, Brandon Williams.
Brandon Williams.
Oh, you mean no? Brandon's in Dallas. Carter's in San Antonio.
Carter's in San Antonio. Brandon's in Dallas. That's
right.
Correct.
Yep. But yeah, I mean him with Carter in that group. But they're not going to be at the bottom of the draft, so they won't be unless they have somebody else's pick, which I don't know. They could because it seems like the Spurs have.
Can I switch it up on you a little bit real quick? Because I want to know how my Lakers, they could have 10 in a row tonight.
Yeah, we've got the Lakers in our top play tonight. We've got the Lakers minus 1.5 points. But we'll check it again. Ooh, they're down by 14 now with about 4 seconds to go in the first half.
I figured Detroit was going to be tough tonight in Detroit, and they're projected I think it was 47%. It's a tough one because Detroit, man, I don't know. And I looked at their record, and they're 58, and they're pretty good for Detroit.
Yeah, no,
Dragon Ball.
the Pistons have been pretty good this season overall. I mean, the biggest thing that they mentioned with the beat the book spot that they had
Cade
today
Cunningham.
was that Cade Cunningham being out with the collapsed lung. But even still, majority of this team is going to be going through. If you don't have Cade Cunningham, you're going to go through Jalen Duren, who's been a pretty solid interior scorer. And Alistair Thompson, he's had a bad snide recently in scoring, but the guy is just a Swiss Army knife. So having him go up against your major ball handlers in Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic, that's where you're going to see a big, big problem for the Lakers out in Detroit. Again, currently at half, down 13 right now, 65-52 in favor of Detroit. So it's going to be a tough one, but the Lakers have shown that they've been ready to play in those crunch time moments so far. I mean, you don't win 9 straight because you're coasting in most of those games.
Now, do you guys really think that that player told Luka something about his family?
Who knows? There's so much chirping that goes on a court at any given point. I know that the internet has gone on about how what is it, custody battle Luka is a different animal and all this other stuff. But hey, whatever's got this guy on the streak that he's on right now, keep him on it because he has been stellar right now. And he looks, I mean, the one thing that we always talk about with Luka is his body weight and everything like that. He looks about as in shape as I've ever seen him going back to his first year with the Mavericks. I mean, he looks to be in shape going into the stretch run here, getting ready for the postseason.
He looks a little bit fitter. Kind of reminds me of Kobe after his post-Denver stuff that happened.
Yeah. Little bit of that.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, I wanted to ask you, what were the odds on that bet you had? What were the odds?
So I think they were, I think it was two negative or positive 220 for Arizona.
Wow, yeah, that's a good bet then. Plus 220.
Yeah, for 10 to 13 points. And like I said, I made it before the game, and I knew Utah State was going to give us a little bit of trouble. Because it's a team we're not familiar with. They just won the WAC. They're on a high horse, and I was just like, man, it's just kind of that option that they gave you, and I was like, yo, throw down $100 and win 600. So I was like, hey, man, Arizona, do it for me. And Braden Burries, man, that 3, he saved me. He saved me.
Don't spend all that money in one place, Brian. Unless you're going to spend it to go to San Jose.
I was actually thinking about it. I was talking to my dad, and I was like, hey, man, what do you think about making a trip out to the West?
Do it, Brian. You might not ever get an opportunity to see your team clinch a trip to the Final Four.
They might do it, and I actually have faith in them. And, bear down.
There you go. Brian, hey, appreciate the call.
Thank you, guys.
520-848-1290 is the number for you. A line open. Get in on the program. Share your thoughts on Arizona basketball. I want you to see, when we come back, I want you to hear Braden Burries, since Brian brought him up. I had a chance to talk to him after the game. He was in the press conference last night. He took his nameplate from the press conference, and he talked about who he's going to give that nameplate to. You'll hear Braden Burries straight ahead. DK on the Sports Tip, cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic envelope.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions reported Golf Links and Kolb Road and Golf Links. Also a wreck that occurred on State Route 86, also known as Ajo Highway west of La Cholla. Eastbound slowing on Ajo, approaching La Cholla. 61 the overnight low, 95 and sunny tomorrow, and 95 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provides real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? The kids who actually have the money to go out there and play tennis. Why haven't we produced any of them? DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We now join our damsel in distress tied to the railroad tracks, a victim of high tobacco prices.
Help! Somebody save me!
Never fear, my dear. Captain Tobacco is here.
Captain, high prices are coming down the track.
You'll never stop my high prices. Pardon me while I untie this fair lady.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
There, you're free.
My hero.
Rats.
You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
Now for you, high prices, I dare ya.
Hooray!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Captain, I could just kiss you.
Oh, no.
Oh, brother. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Goodfellasac.com.
From work to errands to family life, your car takes a beating. At Recon Auto Detailing, we don't just protect it, we maintain it.
They installed my ceramic coating in shop, and now their mobile team keeps it looking brand new, right in my driveway.
Ceramic coatings, PPF, tint, all installed professionally at Recon Auto Detailing. And with our mobile detailing, we keep that fresh, protected look mile after mile. One-stop shop, zero hassle, that's Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
If your yard is the talk of the neighborhood, make sure it's for all the right reasons. Call Dorado Rock and Materials. For landscape gravel to boulders and everything in between, Dorado Rock and Materials will make sure you and your yard are covered.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Hey, it's David Kelly, DK on the Sports Tip. Don't forget to download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. It slaps. We've got full coverage of the Wildcats, the Suns, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, Pima College. Download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today.
Do you need your home repiped? Having trouble with your water heater? Leaking toilet? Have you ever thought about an instant recorded seweroscopy? Then call Economy Plumbing Service at 885-3510. Because if water goes through it or to it, we do it. Economy Plumbing, 885-3510.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports, a milestone in WNBA history. The league and its players have announced a new collective bargaining agreement in principle, one that could redefine the business of women's sports. At the center, revenue sharing. For the first time, player compensation will be tied directly to league growth, which could deliver more than $1 billion in salaries and benefits. After months of negotiations, Union President Nneka Agwemeke believes in the far-reaching impact of this moment.
We are perhaps
representative of like a North Star that even their own careers and organizations and companies are looking to see, well, you know, they got it, so we should get it. It's quite amazing to know that I guess the work that we're doing here is influencing change in so many other places.
With the term sheet signed, the deal now heads to a player vote and Board of Governors approval. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amy Lawrence on Westwood One.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund money I get to keep for my family. Smart.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
With love I will build a wonderful thing that makes this life better for you and for me.
Shriners Hospitals for Children has been creating wonderful opportunities for children in need. This life-changing medical care helps them do the things they've always dreamed of. To find out more, go to loveshriners.org.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, we've got some breaking news. Arizona Athletics. Dragon Ball, do we have breaking news? We have breaking news music, don't we? Breaking news. Breaking news from Wow. We got to get a sounder to go along with it. From Wildcats Radio 1290. Ba-da-da-da-da. Here we go. Breaking news from Wildcats Radio 1290. Another Arizona women's basketball player has gotten into the transfer portal. This one is a little disappointing. Cameron Kitchen is going to transfer. She just tweeted out an hour ago, I want to thank Wildcat Nation for the amazing support in Tucson this past year. I'm beyond grateful for the growth and memories created here, but I've decided to do what's best for me and my future. Therefore, I will be entering the transfer portal with 3 years left of eligibility. So Cameron Kitchen, Achol Magat, Denai Trammell, who else? T. Welch.
You mentioned Blessing?
Adi Adabajan, Blessings Adabanjo, Blessing Adabanjo. That's like, what's that, 5 players?
Five
players. Now, again, it was not a very good team this year, but still, I mean, there were some players there. You felt like Blessing, Cameron, T. Welch, that you could build around. Cameron, a sophomore. T. Welch, a redshirt junior, so coming back with some experience. Blessing would have been a junior next year. Cho Magat, local out of South Point Catholic. And Denai Trammell, maybe somebody you maybe might, at least I thought, could be the cornerstone of your team moving forward. A freshman, but now all gone into the transfer portal. So it'll be primarily a different roster next year for Arizona women's basketball as we move forward. We'll get our friend Kim Das on maybe later in the week or early next week to talk about all of that. Cameron Kitchen played in 22 games, started 4, averaged 18 minutes per contest, shot 42% from the floor. Not necessarily a great three-point shooter, only 30% there. Didn't really go to the line, just 11 times this season, 7 of 11 from the line. She averaged 4 points and 2 rebounds and dished out 26 assists in 22 games and had 28 turnovers. So, again, the numbers not necessarily that great, but someone who showed some promise, I thought, later in the season. So, a little disappointing to hear that Cameron Kitchen is the latest to go into the portal. So we'll keep an eye on all of that as this when roster continues to be reshaped for Arizona women's basketball moving forward. Second straight year that they have not made the NCAA tournament. Last season under Adia Barnes, they did not make the tournament. First season under Becky Burke, they do not make the tournament. It was not a good year for Adia either. In SMU, they were not very good in the ACC. Actually, they were pretty bad in the ACC. So both of those coaches with a lot of work to do. You probably did not fill out a women's bracket either, did you, Dragon Ball?
I did not.
Okay.
And if I did, I certainly don't know if I would have been able to be prepared for the first four getting in there into the Sweet 16, UVA beating Iowa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not have assumed that.
No. How about that? So we had a first four on each side, men and women, that advanced to the Sweet 16. So let's see, what does it look like? So the women are still playing. They've got games tonight going on. So we got Minnesota is in as a 4 seed. They beat Ole Miss. I think I had Ole Miss winning that. I had Ole Miss in the Final Four. I'm not the Final Four. I had them in the Sweet 16 on my women's bracket. LSU and Duke, I think I had. That's what I did. I have Baylor beating. I may have had Baylor beating Duke, because I am partial to the teams in the Big 12. Although I did not have Texas Tech beating LSU. LSU beat Texas Tech 101-47. Well, the one score. What was it? Oh gosh, who was it that beat one of the HBCUs? South Carolina. Who did they beat? They beat Southern 103-34. It's interesting, Dragon Ball. It's very similar. We talked about this last year. It's very similar to some of those high school games. Remember last year we were kind of talking about every so often we get a high school game where it was like 90-14 or something like that.
Something gross.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, something real gross.
Right. We're starting to see some of that in this tournament, especially in the 1/16 games where you've just got a dominant team.
It's funny how you mentioned that, but the 1/16 game that actually seemed somewhat reasonable was actually the UConn game. UConn seemed like it was actually somewhat of a reasonable score with 90-52.
Right? Absolutely. South Carolina is playing tonight. How about this? This might be the first time I've ever seen USC versus USC. South Carolina versus Southern California in the Regional 4 up in Sacramento. They're playing this game down in South Carolina, but it's the Sacramento Regional number 4. And the Gamecocks right now are up 18 on the Trojans. All right. There you go. Good stuff. All right, so I've got. I think I have UCLA. Well, I have UCLA winning this my women's bracket. So how about this, Dragon Ball? I went to USC and I'm from Ohio. I have UCLA winning my women's bracket. I have Michigan winning my men's bracket.
Well, we've heard about this and the bizarre nature of which you're deciding these games. That being said, I'm very intrigued to see what happens against Alabama, because that's going to be the telling game here for Michigan.
520-848-1290. Let's hear from Robert. You're on Meridian Wealth. I'm not Meridian Wealth Management. That's the post-game show. That was last night. I'm still in San Diego. DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi, guys. Good show. I have a question about Krivas. Why is he so? Why do you guys think he's become so passive on offense? I mean, the guy's 3 inches from the basket and he's looking to pass the ball. He looks lost on offense right now. And then what made me sick in yesterday's game is how easy Utah State was getting to the basket around our so-called big guys in there and had about 9 layups in the game. I mean, what was going on our defense also?
Yeah, well, we missed. I'll address the offensive part first. I think everybody missed a bunch of shots. I think what J-Dub said last night, we were 6 of 19 in layups. So we missed 13 layups in that game yesterday. So it was not easy. The ball wasn't falling. One of the notes I wrote down on my book was nobody has any touch tonight, because it seemed like everybody's touch around the rim was off, and that was Motias Krivas included in that. But he still scored 11 points because they got him the ball in the lane, and they were hacking him for the most part, and he was able to go to the line and make 7 free throws. So yeah, 2 of 7 is not. Maybe you would like them to be 4 for 7. versus 2 for 7 and hit a couple more of those little bunnies. And now an 11-point game becomes a 16 or 17-point game for him. But I still thought he played a really good game yesterday, especially at the defensive end of the floor. Now, in terms of what they were doing offensively against us, yeah, I think that was that. There is a little bit of a pause for concern on that. But both of these teams were very similar. They were both going to try to pound the paint, and Utah did that maybe a little bit more effectively than we would have liked them to.
Yeah, I agree with you. I have another I just like see Aristotle getting more playing time over Del Orso, because Del Orso, he cannot handle the ball offensively. His shooting's gone again, and he plays absolutely no defense. And I'm not the only one who's made that observation. And I think Aristotle should get some more playing time over Del Orso.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. I wouldn't necessarily. I don't know. It's again. I think I don't know that Tommy has put Dwayne in that position this year, and I don't know that he's going to want to throw him into that right now at this particular point of the season. I think that's something that you have to gradually do throughout the season for him to be in there in those meaningful situations. We talked earlier in the show. I like the fact that Dwayne came out and was aggressive. He said he wanted to be aggressive shooting the basketball, and the one shot he took, he didn't hesitate. He fired up that three, and he made it. The play we were talking about that resulted in the and one, I just went back and looked at it in the break, and it was Anthony that got trapped and put his shoulder down, and that was knocked the defender down. They didn't call a charge. It was a no call, and it allowed the Wildcats to get that break going that resulted in the Jaden Bradley and one. He only had 2 turnovers. Did Anthony, but yeah, overall it probably was not Anthony's best game.
Yeah, and I don't see him. Well, when he's on, but I don't see him playing much on defense, to be honest with you. But we won anyway. It's win in advance, and I know Arkansas is going to be a tough game. They have some big kids on that team, so hopefully we bring our A game and we can keep going on.
Let's hope so, Robert, because Arkansas scares the heck out of me for sure. Any team coached by John Calipari scares the heck out of me. Robert, hey, I appreciate your call. Thank you.
Thank you.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. 520-848-1290. Real quick, I want to go back to the women's tournament. Did you hear so TCU beat Washington in overtime, 62-59. That game, I guess, went really late last night. And so TCU their press conference was after midnight, and the one girl that was up on the one young lady that was up on the dais said she had a class at 8 a.m. Today.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think they were the home team. So obviously it's not like she has to travel, but she probably wasn't going to get home till 1:30 if she's in bed and sleep by 1:30. And then she had to be in a class at 8. So she asked her professor to call her if her professor could call her, because maybe they might be able to work out something where she didn't have to go to class this morning. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough being a student athlete in the NCAA tournament this time of the year. Cricket is she's our student on this program here, our theologian. Don't forget to join us every day for Cricket's Got Quotes. Right now, she's got traffic, as she always does every 20 minutes on the Fives.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. 22nd Street is closed between Tucson Boulevard and Cherry Bell Avenue. That closure for at least 3 years. So instead, you could use maybe Broadway or Aviation Parkway, maybe even Silver Lake instead. Weather-wise, 61 the overnight low, 95 sunny tomorrow, and 94 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provides real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Headed for the corner, he's in. Touchdown, Arizona. On the break, slam it home. Here comes the throw home. He slides, he's safe. The Cats are champions.
We are Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots.
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
My gosh, Ted, why are you digging up the yard?
I'm looking for that stupid pipe. The bathroom drain is still clogged.
Shouldn't we call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing? You know, the professionals?
I found the pipe.
Whatever clogs your drains, leave it to the professionals at Goodfellas AC and Plumbing. The choice your family can count on for quick, reliable plumbing service using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
En garde!
Ever wanted to try an Olympic sport but think you're too old, too out of shape, too busy, or that those sports are just too unsafe? Think again. Fencing is taking the nation by storm, and it's a safe, fun, engaging sport that's perfect for everyone. Any age, any skill level. Classes are safe, active, engaging, and community-driven. No experience needed, and most clubs offer loaner gear for beginners. Learn more and find beginner classes near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? Desiree Reed-Francois joins us, the voice of the Wildcats, Ryan Jeffries. We're chatting with Kim Doss, Lamont Lovett, John Elliott, Shoya High School. Ryan Hansen joins us.
Anytime you guys want me on, let me know. I love your show. Thank you for all the hard work. You guys do an amazing job. We're extremely fortunate to have you in Southern Arizona.
DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Consistently beating industry benchmarks by over 25% isn't a fluke. It's Cumulus Digital. Smarter marketing with proof. We show you exactly who saw your ad. That kind of precision is why more than 4,000 businesses partner with us every month, whether they need one product or a full digital strategy. Visit cumulusdigital.com today because you're not average, and your marketing results shouldn't be either. That's cumulusdigital.com.
The next 30 seconds could save you hundreds on your car insurance. At The Hartford, we're passionate about your protection. If you're 50 or over, AARP Auto Insurance from The Hartford gives you benefits that really matter. And you could save $597 when you switch. How's that for a little peace of mind? Visit trusthartford.com today. The Hartford, your protection is our passion. The Hartford Insurance Group, Inc. pays royalty fees to AARP for the use of its intellectual property. AARP and its affiliates are not insurers. Savings vary.
During Lowe's Pro Savings Days, the job works in your favor. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members buy more and save more on materials they rely on every day. Get up to 25% off select molding when you spend $1,000 or more, and up to 25% off Pergo Evercraft laminate flooring. Put Pro Savings Days to work for you. Members get more at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit the Pro Desk or Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Robinhood. Learn more with Robinhood at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. The East region of the bracket in the NCAA tournament delivered the results for a Sweet 16 we all wanted. We'll get Duke versus St. John's, and UConn and Dan Hurley against Michigan State and Tom Izzo. The bracket makers can say this was all by chance. The games should be great, and let's be honest, no one wanted to see these teams face Cal Baptist or Northern Iowa. I'm Adam Abdallah.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ Soft Serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into Soft Serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bradley looking to drive. Driving right, kick at corner. Burries. 4 to shoot. Burries back top, turns, fires a deep three. Got it! Oh my! What a shot for Burries. 70-64 Arizona.
Braden Burries, big-time three-point shot. Caught up with Braden after the game last night in the locker room. He had been in the interview room doing the press conference and came in along with Koa Pete and Jaden Bradley, who were both in the interview room as well, and he had something in his hand. It was his nameplate, which you'll see when the players and coaches do these interviews, and it's become a fashionable thing for the players and the coaches to take these nameplates after a loss or after maybe that round is over and you're moving on, and then some of the players will. I think one of the ones that was more viral was the Howard coach, his daughter going back and taking his nameplate for him so that he could have that. And I think the kid from there was another school, might have been the young man from Long Island that hit the shot. Getting a chance to take his nameplate home after, he scored that basket, getting a chance to play in the NCAA tournament and making a three-point shot. So Braden had his when I approached him in the locker room last night.
No, yeah, like you said, fast breaks, they got great players that can get out in fast breaks, number 8.
Let me re-cue this up. I started it in the wrong place. Let's go back here and go. Your nameplate there. What's that mean to have that for you?
I'm going to keep this forever, honestly. Probably give it to my grandma, And we probably think we get another one at the next location, so probably get that one to my other grandma. And, yeah, man. Pretty.
Tell us about the grandmother that's going to get this one and what she meant to you growing up.
I don't even know yet. I think I'll probably give them this one too. So I'll probably wait to get one so I give them to both of them at the same time. But my grandma's been with me my whole life, so I just thank them. Very blessed, very thankful.
Tell us about that three at the end there at the shot clock.
Just got to my spot, shot it with a lot of confidence, and then, thankfully it went in, and I was, happy.
How are you guys able to hold off these runs that you get in these second halves we've seen the last couple weeks?
When you're playing good teams, like basketball is a game of runs, so we went on our run, they're going to go on their run, they got good players. Most importantly, when we go through adversity, we just gotta. That's when we gotta get tighter, go to our circle, huddle up, and when you go through adversity, that's when you show your real character, and that's when you show who you really are.
Braden, Utah State was one of the best in the Mountain West at the fast break, averaging 14 there, but you guys held them to 5 points in the fast break. What was the big key to slowing that down?
No, yeah, like you said, fast breaks. They got great players that can get out in fast breaks. Number 8. Number 2, number 12. So that was the main focus, make them play in a half-court set. They're going to run their sets, and then we just got to defend on that end.
Did you see that as a weakness? They were weak in the half court? Did you guys were able to find that out on film or just before the game?
I wouldn't say they were weak. I'll just say, they're stronger at being in the transition game. So when we have them in the half court, they make them put a body on a body and just make them try to finish through us.
Did today feel louder than Friday at all? You heard the energy.
Yeah, because it was a closer game, obviously, and it was more like up and down, and they went on a run, we went on a run type of game, and I feel like it was a great game for the fans, honestly.
Why was it so tough to make shots for both sides in the first half?
I don't know. I think it was just a good defensive game, I guess.
Was there ever a doubt? Was there ever a doubt as you were making that run for you guys?
No, we got a great coach, Coach Lloyd, and a great coaching staff. He called a timeout. And, we just stay poised, that's why I said, just get in the huddle, knowing that we have each other's backs and we just got to defend one stop at a time. And just don't worry about, the future. Don't worry about the past. Whatever happened already happened.
All right, that was Braden Burries after the ball game. Cool thing there. He's going to take the plaque and take both his plaques and give one to each of his grandmothers. So Braden goes on a trip to San Diego and brings back the gift for grandma. That's what being an outstanding young man is all about. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Before we get to our Casino del Sol replay, I want to shout out a couple things that happened over the weekend. We had another, a couple weeks ago, we told you Audrey Jimenez from Sunnyside High School and the famed Sunnyside Wrestling program, first female to ever win a state title on the boys' side, won a national championship for Lehigh. And over this past weekend, another wrestler out of the Sunnyside program won a men's national championship at 141 pounds, Sergio Vega. So shout out to Sergio Vega for becoming a national champion in his freshman season of college. Even more impressive for that young man, Sergio Vega. First undefeated true freshman since 1947, and he won the national title over the defending champion at 141 pounds. That is awesome out of the Sunnyside Wrestling program to have a couple of national champions again. They just continue to produce these young men and women who go on to the collegiate level and get it done. In fact, Oklahoma State had 3 freshmen win national championships in wrestling. Sergio, Jax Forrest, and Landon Robideau all won national championships. 3 wrestlers to win individual national titles, freshmen, first time that's ever happened in the NCAA for any school. So congratulations to Oklahoma State, and congratulations to Sergio Vega from Tucson, Arizona. All right, let's get you your Casino del Sol replay for today.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, we had a chance to chat with Steve Alker. Steven Alker came back from 9 shots Sunday at La Paloma Country Club to win his second consecutive Cologar Classic Conquistadors Championship helmet. How did he come back from that deficit?
Yeah, I was behind the 8 ball, and certainly round 2 kind of set it up with a 900, got me back in the tournament, and a chance to have a shot at it. And yesterday worked out. I got a little bit lucky to get in the playoff, but hey, these things happen in golf, and you just keep plugging away, right? It's like fighting cancer. You just keep plugging away and you stay positive and hope for the best,
And who are you playing for? Well, in terms of the Cologuard Classic and colorectal cancer survivors, who are you playing for this weekend? And did you and was that person there, or how did that work for you?
Yeah, no, I was unfortunately Todd Harkins passed away a couple of years ago, and his wife Wendy and daughter was out there, and it was a super week. We met them on the first tee, and we got to hang out a little bit after the presentation and got to know them, especially my wife. She was there and got to know Wendy a bit. So, it's just a sort of tournament that you kind of feel like you're playing for a little bit more, that week. You're just playing for more than yourself and more than your family. And it really is a special tournament. We don't have anything like this on tour, so it is a special week and special to win it as well.
Yeah, we had a chance to chat with Wendy a few weeks ago and hear her story about her husband Todd. So that was awesome that you got a chance to play for her this past weekend.
It was an honor.
Yeah.
It was an honor.
Today's Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
An outstanding event, as it always is, out at the La Paloma Country Club, the Cologar Classic. So much more than golf, a celebration of those that are fighting colorectal cancer, as well as those that are survivors of the tragic disease that has claimed their loved ones. And it is one of the cooler events that we have here in Southern Arizona that really shines a light on something that has touched pretty much all of us in our lives, and will continue to do so. And the importance of making sure you get screened and get screened earlier now. 45 years old is when you really need, and if you have a history in your family, even younger than that, you should be getting screened for colorectal cancer so that you are on top of that for sure. All right, I wanted to let you know, so I've put up a question of the day. A little late getting this question of the day up, but I did get it up. And it has to do with the Cologar Classic. And we were talking with Todd Kelly, cousin Todd from Golf Week, a little bit earlier. And one of the questions I asked him was if he thought that Tiger Woods would ever play in a Champions Tour event, let alone play here in Tucson. So that's our question of the day. Head on over to Twitter right now, Wildcats 1290. Do you think Tiger Woods will ever play in a Tucson PGA Tour Champions event? Our event obviously has been known by different monikers, currently the Cologar Classic for the last 9 years. It has also been the Tucson Conquistadors Classic. Do you think Tiger will ever appear at a PGA Tour Champions event here in Tucson? Head on over and vote right now. Early voting says 75% no. If we see him, it'll only be in majors. 25% saying yes. Can't wait to hear Tiger roar here in Southern Arizona. Dragon Ball, your vote would be what?
My vote would probably be no, but it definitely wouldn't be that we only will see him in majors. Is that we'll be lucky to see him on the cover of another PGA Tour video game. I don't know if we'll ever see him in a major again because of how bad his back issues have been the past couple of years. But in the end, I just hope that whatever is the case, that he'll be happy to. He'll be happy moving forward with whatever whether his career ends or if he's just going on to be a family guy. I mean, that's really in essence all that really matters.
There you go. Again, it doesn't appear like it's a sport that would take that type of toll on your body, but it has for him. And I know, not to mention, he's had to recover from that tragic car accident that he had. So it's been a tough road physically for Tiger over the years. And we'll see. We'll see. Head on over there and vote. Share us what you think the possibilities could be. Thanks to Steve Alker for joining us. Thanks to Todd Kelly. Stephen Alker. I want to make sure I get the long part of that right. Stephen Alker, Todd Kelly from Golf Week, Todd Holdhouse, national champion head coach of your Pima women's basketball team. For Dragon Ball, for cricket, J-Dub was off today. My name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk to you again tomorrow here. DK on the Sports Tip, 3 o'clock. Have a great evening, everybody. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, it's Shannon. If you drive around Tucson, you've probably seen crews. Like me, they're part of this community. And when one of us is injured in a car accident, they're here to help. Injured? Call Cruise.com, Cruise & Associates, a firm you know, help you can trust.
From the Cruise & Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. With a collision reported, Campbell, couple of wrecks reported, Wilmot and Broadway and Wilmot, Campbell and Benson Highway and Campbell, and some slowing at that intersection. Grant Road, roadwork east of Country Club to Swan, use Pima instead. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait. And don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
There's only one place to catch Brian Jeffries, the voice of your Arizona Wildcats.
Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Gawaka takes away the rebound and slams it home.
It's a man's game.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi guys, I'm back. What's new?
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio.
All the Scratch and Dent merchandise has its own new studio.
There were so many Scratch and Dent discounted items. Now they have a place of their own.
I love it. A whole Scratch and Dent studio right next to Tucson Appliance. They don't look like Scratch and Dent,
but it shows in the low prices.
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio. Proud local supporters of the Southern Arizona Hardball. Only at Tucson Appliance, where you are a priority.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Spring is in the air and our warm temperatures are about to turn hot. Now is the time to take advantage of pre-summer savings before the hot summer weather. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is offering 5-year, no-interest financing on the installation of green HVAC systems, OAC. Call now for your free estimate, 520-492-0748, or make your appointment online at picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Softball and baseball season has arrived in Tucson, and tickets are on sale now. From the greatest setting in softball at Hillenbrand Stadium to the dingers into the Tucson sunset at High Corbett, you won't want to miss any of the action this season. Tell a friend, bring the kids, and spend your evenings at the yard, as the Wildcats are sure to put on a show. Get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/tickets. Bear down.
Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. EssentialPest.com.
There's only one place to catch Brian Jeffries, the voice of your Arizona Wildcats.
Grabbed by Del Orso, who drives the baseline and slams it home.
He did what?
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
A fiduciary has the regulatory obligation to put your best interest first. Trajan Wealth is a financial fiduciary for your investments. Call today, 520-200-1600.
Securities offered through Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
The day shuts down. The games light up. This is BetMGM Tonight on Westwood One Sports.
Hey, welcome on back to BetMGM Tonight here on Westwood One Sports. We bid adieu to Brad Evans, and that means we got 2 solo hours with this guy, Pat Boyle, and we are brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Download the app today. Please gamble responsibly.